right, welcome everybody to the Tespa Training Grounds promotion tournament between University of Utah, that's Crimson Gaming, facing off against Washington Esports. I'll be your caster for the day, Jet Set Jamerson, joined by Cody KlutchDoc. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. It's a great Saturday. We're about to see two great teams kick it off, trying to get their seat in the best of six, or the final 16 teams in this Tespa arena. How's your Saturday going so far?
Not bad at all. I actually started off the day casting some European games for HND, and now we're back on to collegiate. Super excited to see these two teams facing off. There's been a number of changes for University of Washington, particularly because one of their players from the fall season, iShiny, has moved on. I don't want to say bigger and better things, but now he is signed with CLG. So we're seeing a lot of players actually getting scouted out from these collegiate teams, notably Dogman possibly going over to Splice. We just have seen Kayun from Cal Poly Pomona now actually being signed to Evil Geniuses. So lots of amazing things coming up for these collegiate players.
Yeah, it's a really great opportunity they have here to play like this. Get, not only have their skills shown by their rank, but, in a six-man format to get recruited to these teams that are looking for these young, eager players to, make it into esports. It's really a great opportunity that Tespa has set up here.
Yeah, now we are going to be onto our first map. We are already loaded into Watch Point Gibraltar here. It looks like it's going to be UW starting off on the attacking side. On the defense, though, already they do have that double DPS composition, and we've got a pause coming out from UW.
Alrighty, hopefully we're not going to have too many issues. Chat says.
Looks like Wise Diablo needs about 10 more seconds to get ready for this, but let's talk about the opening composition on the defense there. So that 2-2-2 comp coming out, Flame Turtle is going to be picking up the Pharah, while Bly will be on that Soldier 76. Now their defensive line, it's kind of interesting watching Sly picking up the Winston along with the Diva for Snap there. That's Denial XQ free.
Yeah, you're just seeing Winston in every single game now. I don't know if that came with his shift buff or what, but you're really seeing a lot of Winston. It's making for a lot of good plays, though. It's really interesting to watch it. Two good Winstons go at each other.
Yeah, generally it is paired with the dive composition, but we're not actually seeing that on the defense. We're seeing that more coming out on the offense right now. Platypus and Wise Diablo both on Winston and Diva respectively, and now they are jumping in, going for the contest before we even get to Car Wash here. They do back off just a little bit. Flame Turtle, though, with this pharmacy. Mercy doing a great job of keeping everyone topped off right now. It's going to be UofU Utah already getting 2 kills. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, though, as Flame Turtle does go down.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find an answer for this Fair Mercy combo. I don't think this Soldier is gonna be enough to kind of knock him out of the sky like that.
Yeah, that's just way too much sustain there. You need a little bit more, possibly a Zenyatta, just to get some more damage to stick. But when you get pocketed like that, it's so difficult to try and focus them down. Now, no one on the payload quite yet. It's still being contested, and now Wonks tries his best with that Genji, try and force them back a little bit, and finally, Washington will be able to get it into that car wash portion of Gibraltar.
Yeah, it seems like they're pushing it back a little bit, but they're still fighting on top here. They're kind of ignoring the payload. You have some people overextending this payload. They're allowed to push it a little bit further. Every meter counts here.
Now, we do have the Dragon coming out, and all the ultimates getting popped from both sides. Tactical Advisor coming out from Bly, though, already picked up 2 kills on the side of Utah, and that's going to be a pretty easy wipe coming out from them. Great defense so far.
Yeah, they instantly shut down that Dragon Blade out of Wonked. That was really good on them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You can't just run a blade straight into the tactical advisor there. Bly doing a great job of focusing him down with that. Now we do have Platypus jumping up with that Winston, but he needs support of the rest of his team there. They're going to go ahead and disengage real quickly as they make their way back through Car Wash. It's Wonked and Platypus up top right now, trying to contest against all 6 members of Utah as the payload is getting some free ground here. Finally, they turn around and pay some attention to that, but it's going to be Bly with that Helix Rocket getting the kill onto Platypus. Here's the self-destruct, but I don't think it was quite needed on the side of Utah, as already they've gotten 3 kills.
Yeah, it looked like Platypus there was trying to make a play. He was sitting up there with low health and waiting to hit that Q, but he instantly just got deleted by that Helix. You can tell they're trying to make a play here with Platypus's ultimate, but I don't it seems like they have a little bit of miscommunication here trying to get under this car wash. It's a really tough choke to play though.
Yeah, Wong has now swapped off. He's picking up that Roadhog instead. Wants that pick potential there. Platypus caught out just a little bit. He's not able to receive any healing until he gets back into the line of sight of his Ana. Really close, almost dropped down there. Now high ground firmly in control of University of Washington right now, but still there's no one dealing with the Sparra as Shifu goes down.
Yeah, Shifu, you can tell he's trying to make a play for the Soldier Ana boost here, and just instantly got deleted. Yeah, they're definitely showing dominance on the defensive side. It's gonna be tough to see what they can do. They have the res ready. They only have 45 seconds. It's gonna be tough to be able to push this in this amount of time when the defensive team does have the res available.
And the payload has pushed all the way back, just rolled all the way back to car wash now, and so this is gonna be the final push. But take a look at the ultimate economy coming out from both sides. KlutchDoc, they've got all their ultimates ready at the use from both sides. Tactical Visor comes on out, not quite yet, never mind. They just haven't popped it quite yet, 20 seconds, but there we go. Shifu's finally gonna get that Nano Visor, but XQ3 is just right on top of him, eating it all up. It's gonna be Bly with the visor of his own. Here comes the Barrage Flame Turtle with the coup de grace. Self-destruct does come on out. Wise Diablo picks up Flame Turtle. That might be the window of opportunity that they need as Platypus with that Primal Rage, but still, the resurrection.
The resurrection goes out. They're gonna find. Yeah, they're finding the payload. It is overtime. They have no more ultimates to push this in. They still have Diva Bomb on the Denial, still holding on to that Diva Bomb, and I don't know. It's going to be a little stagger now.
Yeah, and Spawn's about the same distance away. Here's the self-destruct. It's going to force him off. And with the way overtime works, the candle just burns so quickly there at the end. Wise Diablo not able to get back on, and great hold coming out from Utah.
Yeah, University of Washington is definitely going to have a hard time holding that car wash position right there. That's not very far. Not very far at all. They just, it was interesting though, because like University of Washington has kept on locking down that soldier. They know that the soldier, you know, Shifu hasn't ulted yet. They knew they had the Nano Visor, and they just kept shutting him down instantly. That Pharaoh doing a really great job. How strong Pharaoh Mercy combo against one soldier. They just didn't deal with that Pharaoh Mercy combo. Like you said, they need a Zenyatta or they need the extra hit scan. Yeah, a couple months ago, Ana would have been able to deal with it with the extra damage, but not enough to stop that Pharaoh Mercy combo.
Yeah, man, I was an Ana main for a really long time, so that hurt me really hard there.
Yeah,
it's not too bad, but yeah, when you're getting pocketed by the Mercy, it's so incredibly hard to deal with. Just try to get the sustained damage off, especially with the damage fall off on Soldier there. And so now it's gonna be University of Utah's opportunity to attack, and they don't have to push it far at all. 4 minutes just to get 60 meters there on the board. Now, taking a look at the defensive end, we're seeing a triple tank composition coming out on the side of Washington.
Yeah, and it looks like Utah's still gonna run the Pharaoh Mercy, and it looks like Utah still doesn't have an answer for it. A little interesting that they're not adapting to what I believe was the bane of this push.
Yeah, Flame Turtle's just going largely uncontested that entire time. He even had the nice safety net of that Diva. If he was getting focused down, he can just throw up the defense matrix and just get rid of any damage coming his way there. And so now Gate's about to unlock, and it looks like they're just going to go ahead and stick with the composition that worked for Utah. They are out the gates. They're going to have that 2-2-2 set up once again. Flame Turtle, he's got that Mercy in tow. Empire right there. Now they're immediately challenging for that high ground.
Yeah, Wonka's really gonna have some nasty hooks here. It's about the only thing that has a really good pick potential. Diva's gonna go in, instantly get slapped, gonna get the heel locked, gonna probably get deleted there. But this Pharaoh Mercy is gonna run all over them, and I don't think they're gonna have an answer for them. This Pharaoh's gonna sit there and hit them from the back while you know, Washington does push in on them, and while Utah pushes in on them, and they're already contesting for that little push. Lucio does get on the point to try to stop him.
Now, Diva is out of the equation, so that allows Shifu to actually get in and start getting some free damage off. Wonk clipping the wings of Flame Turtle. Shifu finishing off the pair, taking out the Empire. They're going to be able to hold, but that was pretty close there. 4 or 5 meters off from actually completing out this map.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 5 meters. The math is good, but anything can happen. Hopefully we see some good defense here. Ultimates looks like Utah is in favor of the ultimates. Looking at the charges, Denial's gonna go up there and bug. Shifu does get slapped, probably gonna instantly deleted there. They are pushing pretty well. See if they get the people off the payload. Doesn't look like it. Shifu is gonna pull out the tactical visor. Yep.
Yeah, as soon as that mech was gone, Shifu knew, but he got answered right in kind. The resurrection does come out for Utah, and here's the tactical visor coming out from Bly. He's even getting the damage boost right now. Gets the kill onto Wong. Tries to complete it onto Wise Diablo there, but will finish it off with the Helix rocket. Here's the nano boost actually coming on out. Shifu finally does take out Flame Turtles. Real back and forth affair, but they've got 3 members on there. It's going to be down to Shifu to try and contest, but no one's able to actually make it anywhere close. Wong is trying to inch on closer, makes it there right on time. 1.79 meters left.
It does. I think that Demon Soldier combo will be able to hold off these 3 people. I mean, with just a Mercy, Lucio, they don't really have much damage going on here. Can Utah make it back?
Utah starting to regroup. They've got 5 members, but they're just going to go ahead and wait for their 6 to come on back, and that's going to be Bly. Bly still has quite a ways to go to try and build up that tactical visor again. Meat Rockets does have that sound barrier to use. Here comes the Graviton Surge, but it got eaten up.
Wow. Yeah, I was looking for it, but yeah, that really good reflexes on that Diva, predicting the Gravitron going out.
Here's the res coming up from Utah into a huge shatter coming up from Platypus. They're going to be able to clean them up and just force them all back. Empire actually getting staggered quite a little bit over here. Now they've got 1 minute left to try and finish this out, and they've just been there inching closer and closer to the finish line, but some clutch plays coming out from the entirety of Washington there to keep this alive.
53 seconds. Got the sound barrier and the Diva bomb. Bly looking at 82% with his ultimate. Here we go, jumping in. Payload's uncontested though, if you look at that right there. There we go, defense does get on it.
Yeah, and so they'll keep it alive for now as the sound barrier does come on out on the side of Washington. They're trying to jump on top of Sly here. They focus him down. That's going to be Shifu that cleans that up. But here's the tactical visor coming up from Bly. Wong tries his best to eat it up with that defense matrix, but with that damage boost, with the nano visor coming on out, Flame Turtle cleaning up with the barrage. Looks like they might have just done it. They just need to clean up Wong here. He's the final remaining member of Washington to try and contest. Will they be able to get back on time? No, the respawns just aren't there for Washington. It's going to be Utah to take Gibraltar here in our first map of this best of 7 series.
Wow. Only 59 meters on Gibraltar. That just shows both these teams very strong defensively, but Utah with that Pharaoh Mercy combo should have adapted.
Yeah, there were some adaptations coming out from Washington there. We saw Wong was immediately on the Roadhog, I believe, on the defense, and it just wasn't working out for them. So instead of trying to go for the picks, he went for that damage mitigation, picking up that Diva there. Unfortunately, it just was not quite enough. Bly was just continually getting free damage off. Once they got the D-Mech onto Wong, you saw the tactical visor coming out continually. They were doing a great job. They were so disciplined coming out from Crimson Gaming.
All right, so do we know map pools? Do we know what's coming up next?
Oh, I have no clue, actually.
Yeah, should be interesting. I'm just happy to not see King of the Hill, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I've casted quite a few King of the Hills this morning. I'm glad that wasn't how we started the day, but already here on Gibraltar, man, Crimson Gaming looked fantastic. Their great first point, 1 hold there. Now we'll see. I think it might just be loser's pick at this point.
Oh yeah, potentially. Yeah, it looks like they're asking for the map, so... All right.
Platypus trying to do his best Hodor impression there. Hot on.
Hoding. Yeah. Seems like everybody picked up on that quickly. Yep, there you go.
All right. Yeah, Washington... Oh, what can they change up in their gameplay style to try and really deal with Crimson Gaming? Their pharmacy just went largely uncontested for the most part throughout the entirety of the series, or entirety of the map.
That's a really good, it's a very multi-level, that car wash area right there, very multi-level, allows that Pharaoh to do a lot of play. The Diva also used the map to her advantage, a little bit of Winston play, but they didn't have an answer for that diving Diva, nor did they have the answer for the pharmacy pocket, so I don't know if they're going to want to pick up. They have a Zenyatta support, or if they have, you know, the Soldier can go McCree. They want to run double hit scan, maybe a little bit more dive. But standard comp against a Fair Mercy, it's just that's tough. That's a lot of pressure on your Soldier to knock that out.
Yeah, and sure enough, of course, Caster's Curse immediately coming back to us. We're going straight to Nepal, going to a control map next, and now this is where I think Washington can have a little bit more room to try and work around their composition if Crimson Gaming want to go for that pharmacy again. Nepal is one of those maps where we do see pharmacy quite often, particularly on Village, but maybe Washington are banking a bit more on Sanctum, possibly on Shrine also.
Is STI? Slow pause, slow. Okay, there we go.
Map wasn't changed. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
It was just a prank. It was just a prank. All right, so Crimson Gaming already leading this series 1-0 up against University of Washington. This is the Tespa Training Grounds promotion tournament. Now, it looks like we're starting off on Sanctum first.
Think we'll see the Fair on this. A lot of boot potential. I think we will.
Yeah, we've seen teams bust out Fairy here on Sanctum before. It does devolve down to a lot of triple tank a lot of the times, and it looks like already the teams are hovering over that. So of course your main staple to that triple tank, it's going to be the Reinhardt, the Zarya, along with the Roadhog, just to get those environmental hook kills, and of course to round out the DPS composition, Bly and Shifu on both sides respectively, picking up the Soldier 76 here. So just
we have a mirror
compositions. Yeah. And so it's going to come down to a lot of the shield battle, who can apply more pressure, but I think both Reinhardts are going to actually run out their shields exactly the same time. We'll
Battle
see,
of the
though.
Nastiest hook.
Yeah.
Battle of the
We'll
hooks.
see if possibly Shifu or Bly on the 76s go for that flanking plays instead of playing on for that high ground ledge control. Try to go for the flank and get some free damage off. As there we go. We are on to Nepal now. Huge hook coming out from the side of, I believe, yeah, that's UofU. So a 1-for-1 trade comes out as Bly is able to trade right on back for Soulman. So that's actually a pretty big pick-off, taking out the sustain on that end.
Shifu is already on the point though, and this point's gonna open right now. It's gonna be a free cap for Shifu here. Not being contested at all by Utah, and oh no, he's gonna run in the corner and not cap it.
Oh, it doesn't matter though. XQ free. That snap coming in for a double kill. We've even got the sleep onto Shifu. And while things look good for UofU, Crimson Gaming gonna bring it right on back, and they'll cap the point first.
Yeah, that point was just completely left uncontested. The Soldier tried to get a little quick pick, but the team didn't follow him back. If they were smart, they would have worked their way to the point and not leave the Soldier isolated like that, but easier said than done, of course.
All right, another
Reinhardt.
sleep dart comes on out. Here's the hook. Platypus gonna fall to his death. Snap really opening up on this map, and that's what we were talking about with this triple tank composition with that Roadhog. Those environmental kills are nasty.
Yeah, it was beautiful too. A sleep right into the hook, right down the area. See ya later. Easy.
All right, and this is Hook City population flame turtle there. We do have the whole hawk coming on out. XP3 is able to get one kill, but that's a 2-for-1 trade. Now, Shifu once again on the point. He used that tactical visor, but on the side of Crimson Gaming, they did a really great job of actually just playing line of sight there, but it will finally get flipped on point. Now the nano visor comes on out. Bly cleans up the kill onto Soulman. Now he's trying to focus out Shifu. Shifu trying his best to stay alive behind the stairs, but Bly picking up a double kill there. Now the man advantage going on over to Crimson Gaming.
Yeah, it's a very interesting matchup. It looks like neither of these teams are really, they're so spread out during this, and it's a little cumbersome on this map to get really nice and grouped up. But there goes the Gravitron out.
Yeah, they're able to clean up 2 kills off of it. It's Wise Diablo following up all on his own. It's still in favor of UofU. The point is right now, they're getting closer and closer, tying it up against Crimson Gaming here. 37%. And now taking a look at the ult economy, it's super in favor of UofU at this point.
Yeah.
So here we go, high ground control once again maintained by Crimson Gaming, but that's just time on the clock for UW here. They're already at 60%. Now they're going for the engage. Sound barrier comes on out. Hook. Here's the Earth Shatter, lands onto 4, but it's Fly that's following up with it. They weren't able to commit too many kills off of it. Nano Boost comes out onto Platypus, but it's Shifu that's doing the cleanup work.
Yeah, Washington very dominant right there. Very impressive plays. That shatter was absolutely massive. Perfect timing. Always gotta appreciate a fast shatter like that. And this Zarya just absolutely dominating right now. Wiz Diablo showing his dominance on the point. 90% charged up Wiz Diablo. A lot of damage on that Zarya. Very
coming down to the wire now for Utah here. They've got to get back onto the point, but they might be straggling in one by one. They're trying their best to regroup. It's a full 6, 95, 96, but they got to jump in haphazardly. All 6 members come in. Great hook coming out onto Platypus, but he is able to actually just charge his way back onto the ledge. Fly though with that tactical visor, get that kill, but Shifu does try to answer in kind. Unfortunately, most of them playing inside Cubby there. They're getting cleaned up with that Graviton Surge. Now Crimson Gaming fighting on back. They're able to flip the point on back. The last moments there, Shifu only gets 1 kill before he gets cleaned up there, but there's still plenty of time for Washington Gaming to actually get back onto the point.
Yeah, I mean, Wiz Diablo is going to be coming up with this Gravitron, and this is the only ultimate needed. But Sly is going to have the Earth Shatter to counter this. It's going to be interesting to see if UW does go in strong right now. Looks like they are. Wonder if we'll see a Gravitron out on the side to be able to knock them off after Gravitron. There goes a Gravitron out by Wiz Diablo.
Oh, and they followed up with that Reinhardt Earth Shatter coming in. 3 kills, 4 kills already in favor of Washington there. Wow, they're going to be able to flip this point on back as Flame Turtle falls, and now it's in overtime. It looks like Washington will finally be able to cap the first point here on the poll.
Earth Shatter was good, got a lot of the team. Wiz Diablo, unfortunately, was pretty powered up there and was able to just delete a lot of the people during Gravitron. It was a nice attempt, but we'll see if Crimson Gaming can answer back here on round 2 of Nepal.
It was a real back and forth affair there. And that's kind of just what happens when you're running that mirrored composition up against each other. Whoever has more ultis generally wins here. Now we're moving on to Village here. This is where we generally see a lot of Pharas, and so there we go. Flame Turtle immediately swapping off, and of course Empire is going to be that mercy pocket for him.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Season 4 really brought a lot of mercy play, and I don't believe it was really just a simple, resurrection buff. I'm not too sure what brought on, but so much mercy in every level of play now for Overwatch.
Yeah, the Pharah being a bit more prevalent, and we can see why. Flame Turtle with the damage boost, already getting the kill onto Shifu as both teams meeting there on the high ground, but they made a slight change to Pharah, right? Where she could use her shift a bit more often, stay in the skies a lot more. And now we're seeing with that escape mechanic, Empire on the Mercy is just able to stay alive as they are onto the point. Point has unlocked here, but Zeus immediately getting focused on down. He's able to make it into that small health pack and get back into this fight. But right now, Sly's just applying so much pressure by himself as next Q3 on that Diva already picked up a kill onto Wonged. And once again, it's going to be Crimson Gaming taking the point.
Yeah, Platypus kind of ran in there without his team, was able to kind of back up a little bit there, but we just had a Reinhardt there without the team behind him, holding shield the entire time. Basically, Crimson Gaming forcing that into a 6v5 right there. Looks, again, like a little bit of poor team coordination there, but, again, easier said than done.
And take a look at the snowball nature of these control point maps. 3 ultimates already online, especially that resurrection. There's nothing for University of Washington here as they try to make their attack onto this point. Once again, they're gonna go ahead and eat a pulse bomb. That's Zeus immediately out of the equation.
Flame Turtle does go ahead and throw out the ultimate, but doesn't look like it's too many kills. Resurrection does seem to come out. Crimson Gaming is controlling the point right now. Gonna probably just knock out UW right there with that resurrection. Yeah. Crimson Gaming gonna hold up a nice defense there.
They didn't need the res, but take a look. Empire's already at 30% towards his next one.
Alright, looks like Sly and Meat Rockets both have ultimates. UW is looking for the sound barrier. Shifu, Zeus wanting that nasty nano visor combo.
still no ultimates on the side of University of Washington. Here comes the self-destruct, and it's gonna connect onto two. That's both Wise Diablo and Zeus out. Even gonna get the mech, and now, once again, that snowball nature of control point maps just working heavily in favor of Utah Gaming. They're already at 80%. It's coming down to the final team fight already.
Yeah, with the dive of Sly and Denial, Empire is just able to get so much ultimate charge to get that resurrection back up. All right,
so finally,
final push.
There's an answer to this pharmacy, and it's gonna be Shifu with that nano visor. If he focuses down Empire first, that might huge, but they have to win the team fight quickly. Now here comes the Graviton Surge. It only connects onto Bly and Denial there, but he's gonna go get D-Mech here. Now Shifu pushing forward with that nano visor. That's gonna be the window of opportunity for them. But they had to commit so many ultimates. Here's the res, and here's the counter engage coming out from Crimson Gaming here. Huge Earth Shatter connected by Platypus. He's gonna follow up with that charge. And great play coming out from them, countering that res.
Soul Man went in the background and backcapped, came back into the fight. Did you catch that?
I did not actually.
Yeah, so Soul Man came through onto the point, capped it, came back into the fight. Risky play by Lucio. He did manage to get the overtime, but he completely backcapped. If you notice, when the fight over, we're already at 30% for Washington.
So now Utah approaching once again. They've only got one ultimate to work with, but it is that self-destruct. And last time he was able to connect onto two, but here's Flame Turtle with the barrage, getting largely eaten up though. So nothing coming of it quite yet. Bly has swapped off onto that Tracer now, doing some good work. Here's the self-destruct. It will connect onto Flame Turtle, takes him out. Now Wise Diablo starting to clean up. Empire doesn't have a rest for this one.
Gonna get deleted, and it looks like Washington is gonna be able to hold this point. Nice back and forth, 99%. Now Washington able to answer. Very nice play.
Right,
Shifu.
let's see what they've got to work with on the side of Crimson. They've almost got 3 ultimates. That's self-destruct for Denial, execute free, that's Snap. Empire though almost has that res.
Bly already threw out the pulse bomb. Doesn't seem to pick up a kill with it though. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Nasty anti-grenade right there. There goes the self-destruct out of Diva. Not gonna be able to. Oh, picks up the kill on Sly.
Yeah, it was a great response though because of that great Earth Shatter that came out from Platypus, but the follow-up on that Graviton Surge is huge. And fighting back for the brink of defeat here is University of Washington. They're gonna go ahead and focus down Empire. Pulse Bomb comes out and out. Platypus even had a second Earth Shatter to work with, and they bring it back. Now they're leading the map 2-0 on map point.
Great matchup there, but Crimson Gaming not able to cap it again. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really largely off the back of Platypus. He's doing a great job on that Reinhardt. I mean, we saw there in that last team fight, building up 2 Earth Shatters in the span of about 30 seconds there. His first Earth Shatter actually got the self-destruct to come out from XQ3, and that wasn't in the prime optimal spot. He just needed to stop the follow-up damage off of it.
We have Flame Turtle going on Genji. The Empire was showing Zenyatta going back on the Lucio. Bly's going to pick up the Soldier again. We're seeing a lot of character swaps on Crimson Gaming, trying to get into this round so they don't get swept 3-0.
All right, so now we are on to Shrine here. The University of Washington just want to complete this out. They're going for that triple tank composition. Hook comes in, lands onto Empire, but he's able to boop himself to safety. They're keeping it alive. Sly has to be careful. He charges on out. It's going to be Bly this time, answering in kind, taking out one. That's Zeus going on out, and now already Crimson Gaming with the 2-man advantage. As the point unlocks, they're going to be able to take the point first.
They came to fight. They are not defeated. They're 0-2 right now, but they're still showing great dominance. A lot of early damage going out by their freaking out the support onto Washington. Wasn't able to handle it. Very nice coordination coming out of Crimson Gaming there. Nasty hook onto Sly. Sly's gonna quickly back up with the speed boost. Platypus diving in, gonna get slept though. That's probably be the end of his. Oh, Reinhardt v Reinhardt gonna back off there.
No, he's out in the middle of nowhere though, and he actually makes it out alive, surprisingly enough. But Soul Man, he was anti-heal that entire time. It's going to be a kill onto Soulman there in favor of them, but Shifu pushing forward with that tactical visor is able to clean up the kill. Now, once again, Platypus with a huge Earth Shatter just swings onto both supports, takes him on out. He's going to follow up all by himself. That's a triple kill for him, and that might be UofU fighting it back. They're just trying to get Flame Turtle and XQ3 off of here. It's all down to the Zima to try and stall for as long as possible.
Yeah, right now, the Crimson Game is, XQ3 is going to try to get as many ticks as possible, to keep it contested as much as possible, get as much percentage, and they're still going now with the Tracer. It's going to get wiped off, and that is going to be Washington able to pick up the point. Finally, that extra little, 13% though. Very nice stall by XQ3 and Bly.
Yeah, so we're seeing this modified dive composition coming out on the side of Crimson Gaming, doing a really great job of just stalling out the point. Wonk, unfortunately, man, his hooks, he's been landing them, but it's been largely XQ3 with that defense matrix, the changes to it, just saving the targets. Pulse Bomb comes out, it connects, it's gonna be Soulman that does go down. Earth Shatter, but it's followed up by the Graviton Surge, and here's the follow-up coming out from UofU once again. And they're gonna be able to clean this up. We do have Crimson Gaming try to keep this alive. Fly was able to pick up the kill onto Wonk, but that's not going to be enough there. He does get cleaned up.
Yeah, Meat Rocket did end up doing the boostio on the Empire while Crimson Gaming went into that fight, and that you could tell right when that happened, there was probably comments about it, and their whole push right there immediately got disintegrated. Now Crimson Gaming is going to try to take this point without any ultimates, going against Washington's now 3 ultimates. Now that Chief just threw out the Pulse Bomb. Ryan's going to charge in.
Oh, Platypus. He's been so good with these Earth Shatters. Unfortunately, he was already dropped down solo because of that charge, but it's enough for UofU to come back into this. Wise Diablo on that Zarya. XQ3 gets hooked on in. He is going to survive for now, gets demeched, but great cleanup coming out on the side of UofU as they're just slowly whittling away, stalling XQ3 there. And so now it's going to be one last opportunity for Crimson Gaming to try and get this point back.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Zeus did end up nanoing Platypus, and Platypus did go down very quickly, but Zeus is already looking at a 56% on his ulti, so I don't know if he got that quick or it gave it back to refund some of the ultimate, but 90%. Crimson is pushing on.
Here's the Dragon Blade, but immediately! Yeah, he's put to sleep. Wonk is gonna line up that headshot. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now they're cleaning up on the side of UofU. And here on Nepal, just a completely different story. Everything going in favor of them. XQ3 gets a constellation kill onto Wonk, but it's largely over. Even the nano boost coming out to try and stall for as long as possible, but Fly's the final member to go on down. Flame Turtle's gonna try and dash on, but Platypus says no. Take a hammer to the face. Shuts him out. Washington with a 3-0 victory here on Nepal are going to tie up this best-of-7 series 1-1.
Ooh, Pro Genji. Oh, with a nice, beautiful skin that they just released.
Oh yeah. The only thing I have against the skin is the left hand, because his left hand isn't biotic or whatever, and so when they skinned it over, they left it like bio-sized, so it looks freakishly large in comparison to his other hand.
I've never noticed that. I'm gonna have to take a look. Maybe I don't want to.
That's all you're gonna see now. I've just ruined things for you. I'm so sorry. I should have never have mentioned it.
I'm not listening.
And it looks like we're going to King's Row for the next map, or it might have just swapped off by itself.
Actually, love some Kings. Yeah, probably. P break 1 sec.
Everyone's being
like Team P.
No, I mean, it's a best-of-7 series. It's going to take a while, but right now it's all tied up 1-1. Remember, this is the promotion tournament. The winner of this will be moving on to the arena next week.
Good 1-1. It looks like Crimson Gaming may be stronger on took the Gibraltar, Washington with the Nepal, going back onto a payload. Maybe Crimson Gaming will keep that dominance on the payload, but we'll see. Gibraltar only pushed it, 60 meters to see if these teams can actually defend the first control point, make it a quick match. Hopefully not. I don't like to see that, but
yeah, Gibraltar, one of those escort maps that lends itself a bit more to the defensive side being able to actually full hold. Their respawns zones are so close. While it becomes more and more difficult for the attack, honestly, it's a little bit defense sided there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so much. I mean, with a good fair on the team, like I mentioned before, there's so much elevation on both after the first checkpoint. Every checkpoint on that map has just so much. Versus King's Row is kind of like that, but it's, I mean, a lot of windows and not so much open for a fair just to kind of just fly around and do whatever her little heart content.
Yeah, definitely here. And it looks, nope, they haven't chosen anything yet. They're still on their bio break. Right now, I
True.
mean, I thought with the way that Gibraltar went, that Nepal might go also to Crimson Gaming, but man, Washington University, they just really buckled down, and it looks like they woke up, particularly Platypus, who was just doing such a great job on that Reinhardt.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Earth Shatters were so timing was perfect, positioning was perfect, just really good play out of him.
Yeah, and generally you see when Reinhardts have to deal with dive compositions, it's a little bit more difficult. But with the way that Crimson Gaming actually worked out their composition, it was a 2-2-2, so it wasn't a full like dive commit. They would actually have to just run up to Platypus the entire time, and he was just able to land these 3-4 man shatters continually across all 3 maps there, and he was just such a hero for them. Now we'll see if they have an answer for that, but. Even in the Rhine heads up battle, I believe, I'm trying to remember who was playing the Rhine on the side of Crimson Gaming.
It was. Oh,
Yeah, I'm blanking completely here, but he was winning the heads up battles himself on, I believe it was Sanctum for the most part. All right, so we are getting the ready ups, but I don't know if we've got the map. Oh,
King's
looks
Row.
like we're going to King's Row. Okay.
A
So King's Row, a different battlefield from Gibraltar, right? Because it is a hybrid style map.
I mean,
Now,
even Gibraltar almost feels like a control point just with that car wash.
Oh, yeah.
That car wash choke, you know. But absolutely.
It's difficult to approach for many teams there. And we saw that coming out from Utah, they were kind of mirroring Selfless there in their initial hold, almost, holding up at that initial spawn door area before they backed off. And then from there, they just dominate the car wash area. But this time it's going to be UW starting off on the defensive side here. On the offense, it is going to be Utah. Now, let's talk about the composition coming out from the defense, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at both sides, and if the Pharmacy's not too strong on this map, I'm a little surprised not to see either team picking it up, but looks like we're not going to have the Mercy Res. Usually see that a lot on this, on a nice control point hybrid map like this, but it looks like a 2-2 comp on the defense and a triple tank onto the offense.
Both teams actually hovering over triple tank, almost mirrored, with the exception of D.Va and the Roadhog. And so we saw Wonked. No, it wasn't Wonked. It was XQ3 actually doing a really great job on the D.Va of actually trying to shut down a lot of these hooks. So it's going to come down to Wonk keeping any hooked members safe. They've even got that extra safety net of Wise Diablo's projected barriers here. Now we are out the gates here. Hook comes on out. Wise Diablo taking a short nap, but everything getting eaten up by that defense matrix.
And they're already pushing on close to the point, going to be able to contest the point. XQ3 walking on. It looks like Crimson Gaming's showing a little bit of dominance right now. Kind of just walking into him, saying, "This is my point." Sly charging, gonna get slept. Platypus coming back with the charge back on him, gonna delete Sly.
But now 2 kills going in favor of Utah right now, but they still have to deal with Shifu. He's on that high ground, getting free damage off right now. They're just gonna go ahead and give them some space right now as they regroup here on the side of Washington.
That was interesting. They kind of just walked on and say it's my point. It looks like they are contesting Flame Turtle coming in from behind, chasing down Zarya v Zarya right here. Tactical Visor isn't gonna go out.
Yeah, Meat Rocket with a huge biotic nade, keeping the majority alive. Here is the Graviton Surge, though. Platypus just swinging freely. Gonna be able to clean up the majority of that Utah squad. And now with one final staggered kill onto Wise Diablo, they might have the opportunity to try and fight into like a 6v5 here.
Yeah, Wise Diablo already getting that grab, able to throw it up to end this team fight. Very, very well done. Always got to appreciate a Zarya that's able to pick up the Gravitron that quickly.
All right, so Sly is back on to the point, and they are fighting it out. Hook came out, but once again, Wonk was able to keep his team members alive, and oh no! Sly went for that charge.
Gravitron went out, the defensive Earth Shadow went out. Very well played again.
I think
2 minutes.
I think the proper term for that is jebaited, as Sly thought he had a free charge into that defensive team there, into UW, but Platypus was like, nope, I've got my shatter. Now though, ultimate advantage in favor of the offense, and huge Earth Shatter comes out from Sly. He's gonna follow it up. He's got the nano boost, and he's trying to swing on to Wise Diablo. Finally gets that kill, but unfortunately now he's out of position to find up any kills. Now we have that self-destruct coming on out. It's not gonna amount to much, as Sly does go in for that charge, and now they're starting to clean up on the side of Crimson Gaming.
You know, Crimson Gaming showing a lot of dominance right there, just eating through that the Empire sound barrier, not able to do enough, and they are going to take up the first point on the Kings Row. Very well done by Crimson Gaming. Bly still having that tactical visor though, and the only thing out of Washington is Zeus's nano boost. It looks like Bly might be able to get a little bit of stagger out here, maybe be able to push this. They might not, you know, Washington might not be able to anticipate that Bly actually has the visor, just surprise him from the back. We'll see what Bly can end up doing here.
Yeah, so holding pattern coming out on the side of University of Washington. Looks like they want to take this next fight at the bend here, but Bly getting the first kill onto Solman. That's a huge pickoff, taking out one of the major supports, and so now they push forward with that charge. Here's the tactical visor along with the Earth Shatter. Doesn't quite connect, so that's going to allow University of Utah to push forward here. We do have that on Zeus trying his best to keep his team alive, but that's just way too much damage when you're getting focused down by 5 members.
Yeah, we had Shifu and Bly. Shifu initiated the "I've got you in my sights." Bly was like, "Well, I got you in my sights as well," and Shifu was unfortunately firing right into that shield, while Bly was nicely protected by his Reinhardt shield. So worked out very nice for Crimson Gaming there, able to push it around this nasty choke point on Kings Row.
And now it's making its final bend is the payload for University of Utah. We do have a swap off. Shifu picking up that Tracer now. Try and get into the back line here. Hook comes on now. It is going to be XQ3 getting that kill, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Here's the Graviton Surge. They have the follow-up damage. Kills getting traded from both sides, but the Graviton Surge comes out from Flame. He's going to be able to clean up Wise Diablo, Soulman shortly thereafter. Now it's all down to Zeus. Try and stall out as long as possible, but he's just alone Anna. So this payload going largely uncontested and making good headway here. Now they're onto the boundary portion, our University of Utah.
Yeah, that was a nice Gravitron Surge by Flame Turtle. It was only to pick up 1 or 2 people, but it was just enough so the University of Washington could have come back and you know, get that stall composition going onto that checkpoint there. Looks like XQ3 is going to do the whole hog to push in the team. Not going to do much with it though.
He got one though, and that's Platypus getting drained, pushed down the drain there, and now the payload making good headway. Wise Diablo, oh, gets hooked in, he gets anti-healed, he actually goes ahead and commits seppuku there just to get respawned with this team so they can go for this one final hold here.
Yeah, Crimson Gaming showing a lot of dominance right now. I don't know, I think they may have this payload game figured out. Shifu still behind, kind of terrorizing. XQ3 is like, no, I can get you. I can get that hook. Soundbarrier coming out from the Lucio, though. Looks like Shifu's going to still be in the back, not helping out too much. Going to try to take out Bly, who's got the tactical visor going on, but no, not being. Shifu's kind of just harassing the back line, not being too potent right now, though.
Soulman with that boop, though, sends Flame Turtle down to his demise. Sly trying his best to get them off. Wonked does fall. But now Earth Shatter only connects onto Soulman, a little bit miscalculated coming out from Sly there, and that's something they might have wanted for their final push. It does get the sound barrier coming on out too, and now Earth Shatter coming out from Platypus, but he gets cleaned up. So Graviton Surge comes out. Wise Diablo once again connects onto Bly. Empire is gonna be able to make it out to the safety of his team. They're gonna go ahead and regroup. They still have plenty of time to work with. They don't have to commit to this on the side of Utah. Yeah,
you can tell they were really wanting that. They thought they could, you know, get the advantage in the outnumbered fight there with the Earth Shatter coming out from Sly and Soundbarrier coming out from Empire, but that was pretty poorly calculated. XQ3 is gonna whole hog right there, just get eliminated quickly. There's a 6, right. Oh no, 5v5 now.
The defense finally finding their footing here. And now they're just hiding backwards as they try to speed boost in. So great play coming out from them. That May wall just really putting a stop to the offense so far. That's going to buy them enough time. Graviton Surge comes out and lands onto 4, but here is the Blizzard. That zoning Blizzard slide caught out by himself. He does have Flame Turtle there, try and keep him alive, but Platypus just gonna go ahead and give his life to get rid of Flame Turtle there. Nano Boost coming out for Wise Diablo. We'll see if he can make anything of it right now. He's not that high charged yet, but he's trying to focus on XQ3. It's gonna be Soulman once again with that environmental boop, taking out XQ3, and the defense are gonna be able to hold for now.
Wow, that pocket healing out of Zeus onto Wiz Diablo, sitting there holding the payload. They're all trying to kill that Zarya. Not forgot why she's healing, not knowing that the Ana is sitting in the back, just pocketing her.
So now it's coming down to the final push for University of Utah. Things were looking so good. They had about 3.5 minutes as they made it onto this foundry portion here. Now they're pushing forward with this triple team composition once again. And now it is going to be the ultimate advantage.
Platypus. Yeah, Soulman and Platypus with the ultimates.
Graviton Surge, Earth Shatter onto the entirety of them. That's the Big Bang combo. That shuts them out. Huge plays coming out from University of Washington there. Check for that on your highlight reels.
But that was the Gravitron Surge followed up with the Earth Shatter and Shifu's Pulse Bomb to instantly delete. It looked like 4 of them. Very nice defense coming out of Washington. God, I keep getting turned around.
No, it's very difficult when you don't have like. Okay, so here's my trick. I have Post-it notes.
I just brought up my Surface.
I just swap around.
Oh,
there
I like
it.
I like it.
All right, casting 101, guys. These are the tips and tricks you need. But yeah, I mean, things looked really bad for Washington. They gave up the Streets phase largely for free. But once they got to that foundry, finally found their footing. Platypus came up with some huge plays. I think it was mostly off the back of Soulman, though. He was doing such a great job on that Lucio of getting those environmental kills with the new Lucio boop. It was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, and Wiz Diablo's it looks like we're having a little bit of trouble. Flame Turtle's trying to play the Zarya up to how Wiz Diablo's playing it, but Wiz Diablo, very impressive Zarya player, getting nice bubbles onto the back line when they're feeling pressured. Nice own bubbles just to keep that presence onto the payload. And then Zeus able to pocket Wiz Diablo in many of those fights just to keep the stack going up to get their team alive, to get back onto the payload. Very impressive defense. Nice rally by Washington.
Yeah, and so
Pro Hanzo?
Now, I hope so. We've seen Hanzo's before. Menokusai actually busting it out on the attacking end for Energy last week, or for Overwatch Pit, I believe, during their qualifier stages. And so, or not the qualifier, but during their seeding stages. And so it's not uncommon at all, especially when you're pairing it with someone like Wise Diablo on that Zarya, who's been able to build up his Graviton Surges rather quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it looks like we're going to have the nice Wiz Diablo Wonked combo, maybe the Zeus Shifu combo. Nano boosted Whole Hog is nothing to underestimate, that's for sure.
And so now Wonked is committing to this Hanzo, and especially up against a triple tank lineup, that scatter shot can delete a tank instantly. So they have to be careful. They really have to play around this Reinhardt barrier. And
Wonked is going to get so much ulti charge off of XQ3, laying the Roadhog. Going to get a nice hook onto Shifu. They're going to eliminate Shifu. A very nice hook inside the hotel there.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, you know Hogs are playing there. He saw him there. And Sly even getting the Fire Strike kill onto Wonked. And now University of Washington crumbling here on their offense. They need to back out and not give over any more ultimate charge to Utah.
Shifu making very nice plays there, able to pick up the kill on the Platypus, and then Denial able to pick up nice plays there. 2 hook kills to stop that push.
All right, but Wonked with the Sonic Arrow kill onto that Lucio. So 2 members already on down. Bly is able to answer back, but is it going to be enough? They are on to the point right now. Platypus able to get some free swings off. We got the Nano Boost onto Sly here. He's got that Shatter. Platypus is trying his best to try and bait out the Shatter. There it is. It actually connects onto Soulman through that shield. Here comes the Dragon Strike. Not gonna pick up much. It's all Platypus on the kill feed on the side of Washington. And he's trying to focus down Empire, but the charge comes on. Now, Sheepu helps him clean up Flame Turtle, and Washington really with a window of opportunity here. Platypus has to keep his shield up. He's at 1 HP.
Oh yeah, it looks like Lucio did end up doing Soundbarrier to keep those two alive, to keep this defense going. I think it's not. Oh, is it gonna be enough? Slides coming back on. Nanovisor does go out by Bly.
But unfortunately, he did not find anything off of it. Sound barrier committed by Soulman. Washington pushing forward. Wise Diablo with the huge Graviton. There's the follow-up with that Pulse Bomb. They're going to be able to clean them up. Empire, final victim.
Diablo is unstoppable. Unstoppable.
He's nuts.
He has,
you can see why Zeus is pocketing him.
I swear, he's got more than the average Zarya health. He's got double. He's got 800 health or something. Wow. Yeah, nice pocketing by that Zeus. You know, when in the thick of it, it is not all that easy to land 100% of the shots to keep a Zarya alive like that, especially while getting focused. You can tell that Crimson Gaming is going for Wiz Diablo, but just Zeus is just not letting that happen.
Bly, as we enter into Street Space, has taken the high ground positioning. He's got the backup of Snaps there just in case, and now the payload making its bend. The shield battle really going in favor. Never mind, doesn't matter. Graviton Surge comes out. Here's the Earth Shatter also, but a great Nano Nade comes on out from Zeus, and that's going to allow Washington to start cleaning up here. But XQ3 answering on back, takes out Platypus. We do have the Tactical Visor coming out from Wong. He finds one kill. They try to commit with that Pulse Bomb, but he did have that Roadhog getting caught out in the library over at Moriarty's, and now Bly, though, trying his best to keep this alive. They do back off on the side of Utah.
Yeah, Meat Rocket did have that Nano, and I was interested to see if they're going to try to pull it off to keep the stagger going, but they didn't, knowing that they can get their team back to actually stop this checkpoint from being captured. I like that. I was worried that Meat Rocket's going to throw it to kind of waste it. They're just going to regroup, say, just fall back, guys. We still have enough time to actually hold what matters, which is the checkpoint right here. Yeah, 3 minutes, though.
Noticing that the respawns were coming in, Washington just stepping back a little bit and make sure they have all 6 members, but XQ3 coming in with a great hook onto Wong, takes him out. We've even got this charge. Platypus has to back away. Great discipline coming up from Washington there to disengage after they had lost Wong there.
That was very impressive team coordination there. Shot caller made the call, everybody followed, wasn't worried about, oh, I can take this guy, backed off, and look at them. Now they are dominating this payload right now.
Alright, Wise Diablo, once again, he's got that Graviton, and it's gonna connect onto 5 members. Sound Barrier does come on now, but Shifu following it up. That's the Big Bang combo. Bly, though, answering in kind with that Tactical Visor. 3 kills. Wow, things were looking so bad, but
Shifu was really hoping for more kills on that Pulse Bomb. I was expecting to see at least a pentakill there. Ended up only being 2. Bly answering quickly with the Tactical Visor.
And it was honestly great timing coming out from Empire there also, just to mitigate all that damage from that Pulse Bomb. He was only able to get 1 kill and then followed up with the regular attacks there. Now time starting to dwindle away for University of Washington. They've only got 1 ultimate at the ready so far. They're working their way up towards 3 right now. XQ3 though, here on the high ground, does have the flank, gets the onto Platypus. That allows the shadow to come on in, and now University of Utah starting to clean up.
Boy, that was quick. All it took was a little bit of hook, get the Reinhardt out of position, get a nice shatter onto the back line. And they're getting a little cocky here. They're pushing back onto the control point here. Yeah, get backed up, guys. They're like, all right, that's enough. Let's try and get that extra stagger pick.
My tactical visor is charging.
The way the respawn distance works, though, this might be the final push to come out for University of Washington.
I believe it is. They do have the Zeus Wonked combo.
We'll see if they can use that Nano Visor. They're trying to get this flank position. They're starting to move their way around, actually. They're just going to go ahead and push through main with it right now. Flame Turtle does have that Graviton Surge. He's looking for a juicy one. Doesn't spot it quite yet, but Wong pushes forward with that Tactical Visor. He found 1 kill already. He got hooked, but immediately is able to just follow up, and now that's 3 kills coming on over. Even with that Pulse Bomb coming out from Shifu, they're going to be able to clean that up, and it's all Wong and Shifu on the side of UW, keeping this alive. They'll be able to get the checkpoint and add on another minute 30 for their final push as it goes into the Foundry.
I don't think they're anticipating that Soldier to go right for the back line like that. They're trying to get them grouped up to get a fat Earth Shatter or Gravitron Surge out of Flame Turtle Slide, but they were just so spread out. That was really nice work out of that Soldier, anticipating that, you know, if he stuck with his team, that he was going to get his entire team CC'd while he was doing his tactical visor. Very nice play. There goes the Gravitron though.
Right. Oh, I kind of wanted to see Platypus hold on to that Earth Shatter. But now they're just going to be able to wipe, and they've got a great rotation on the side of University of Utah there. They're going to have that Nano Visor for this next hold, and it's coming down to the final team fight for UW to try and finish this out. 40 more meters. They need to push this payload.
60 seconds remaining.
58 seconds. 2 more pushes? I don't know. 1 strong, 2 weak. Another hook on the Platypus though. They're not liking this. They're not liking XQ3 right now.
Yeah,
looks like Tracer is gonna try to bother him. Ooh, gonna pick him up with a pulse bomb though. Interesting.
There's still an uphill struggle at this point. Graviton Surge comes out from Wise Diablo, and once again, great sound barrier coming out from the Empire there. Lucio player on the side of Utah. Bly cleaning up 2 kills, and so there is going to be 1 more opportunity because that team fight was so decisive coming up from Utah.
That was a very executed sound barrier to keep it to instantly just turn that fight around. Gravitron sound barrier, well executed. Didn't look like Washington had a lot of backup on that grab. Lucio was able to respond so quickly to it. Zeus.
All right, so this is the last-ditch effort, but there are already 2 members on down. Earthshatter came out, but unfortunately Platypus was forced back just quite a bit. Graviton Surge does come out from Flame Turtle. They're going to be able to clean this up, and now it's going to be University of Utah moving forward, or actually pushing forward with a 2-1 lead up against Washington.
So it looks like they got the payload game on lock. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see some.
Here.
Maybe we'll see some Koth and have, you know, Washington pick it up to go in for the 2-2, but I see some play of the game here. Probably Soldier? Probably Soldier.
I don't know. There's some great plays coming out from everybody. And Platypus, unfortunately, his heroics on Reinhardt just wasn't quite enough here. This was that huge 6-man wipe. That was the 6-man Earth Shatter landed onto everybody. You barely get to see that happen.
Yeah, that was very three ultimates to get that quick team wipe. Very well executed.
Unfortunately, in that final push, they should have gone for that just dry push. Gone in, get out the ultimates, because about 3 were already committed before Platypus decided to use his Earth Shatter there. If he had that for the last team fight, it might have been huge. I mean, he did build up another one pretty darn quickly, but still, there are more optimal plays for Washington. And so now we're going to Lijiang Tower. So like you had predicted, KlutchDoc, we're going to another control point map here. And last time, we saw a pretty dominant performance coming out from Washington on Nepal.
Yeah, but this is a very different map from Nepal, though. You know, with this Lijiang in itself compared to other Koths, it's very unique, and a lot of teams like to run Lijiang. I bet both of these teams favor Lijiang, which is I don't know. It seems like take the TCS finals for example. I mean, it's like every team, like their best win percentage map was Lijiang. It's always interesting to see 2 great teams battle it out on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and Lijiang is also one of those maps where you will see some pharmacy, especially here on Garden, which is where we're going to start this off. And we've already seen that pharmacy being hovered on the side of University of Utah. But for Washington, looks like they're favoring that triple tank composition. Washington is going to be on that far duty, making sure Flame Turtle can't get any free damage off, but it's gonna be very difficult trying to deal with that. Shifu really the only answer. Try and clip his wings.
Yeah, hopefully they don't forget about the great pharmacy that they do run, and so see if they make the mistake of taking bridge and get some quick kills here. Oh no. Kind of missed that one.
Might have gotten eaten up by Wonk there, but still, they're gonna have a very difficult time trying to deal with Flame Turtle. Both teams approaching from bridge, and now the dive comes on out, but it's Wise Diablo that gets the first kill. Now man advantage over in favor of University of Washington, and this is looking largely like that performance on Nepal.
Gonna get the quick cap. So important to get that first cap. Gonna be very dominant. Gonna lock down the pharmacy. I don't know. I'd like to see it. I don't like seeing pharmacy combos work. I just feel like it's so cheese, but it's so viable.
Now, we do have XQ3. He's on that Roadhog. He can try to find those environmental kills, but Washington were doing a really good job of staying away from the ledges. And now they're going to be approaching from White Room on here, going in for the dive. Flame Turtle, though, gets the first pick onto Soulman. And now, great left click coming out from XQ3. Gets the kill onto Platypus. They try to push forward on the side of Washington with that tactical visor. But great line of sight play coming out from them. Shifu only gets one kill now, and everything going in favor largely for Utah here.
Empire also able to pick up that resurrection, even if the fight were to get turned right here, which is not going to get 2 boops out of Meat Rocket, though. 3 boop. What?
That's play of the game. That's just play of the game.
Easily. Got the 2 boops and tried to wall ride back up to not get the 3rd boop. Happened. Very impressive play there.
Right, but some damage done on the side of University of Washington. They've already gotten 41% on the board. Now they're approaching from the White Room here. They don't want to take their chances over at the bridge, but Flame Turtle is just dishing out some free damage, but he gets stuck out, gets caught out by Shifu, and now they're pushing forward. Empire isn't going to be able to res that, and oh no, the Boostio came on out. Meat Rocket's going to go ahead and use that sound barrier. Soulman unfortunately falls for his efforts there, but Fly trying his best with the visor, but here we go. We've got the Graviton Surge coming on now, and that's 2 quick kills coming on now, but that is going to be able to be rezzed by Empire there.
Fat res, very nice res. Round 2 into this. This gives their entire team a fighting chance. Shifu is going to pick up the nice tactical visor, but doesn't eat the diva. Nice sound barrier goes out by Soulman.
This entire time, though, the fight's going on. It's dragged on for so long. At this point, Utah have already gotten about 70% on there. They still maintain control. Now the clock is ticking for Washington.
Yeah, 73%. 1 quick push, or 1 long, 2 quicks. Another boop. Is that a boop? No.
I don't know how that happens. It's Farah.
Died. Shift too short. Shift too long. I don't know.
All right, here comes out the whole hog from Denial XQ3. Unfortunately, he gets put to sleep, and now a great charge comes out from Platypus. Meat Rocket trying his best to keep this alive, is able to get the boop onto Zeus. And now that's both supports on down. Here's the resurrection once again coming out from Empire. He's connecting with those over and over again, keeping it alive for Utah. He finally does go on down, but there's no one here on the side of Washington as Shifu gets booped off once again. And so now we've got University of Utah able to get the first point here on Lijiang Towers.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, now we are moving on to Control Tower. Control Center? Tower? Center? I always forget.
Center.
Control Center, thank you. As we've already seen that pharmacy combo, looks like it might come out again from Flame Turtle and the Empire. She's been doing a fantastic job on that. Mercy so far landing some clutch resurrections, and she's going to be sticking onto it as we do see something wonky coming out from Monk. He's going to be picking up May.
Interesting pick though, especially while they're running against the pharmacy combo still. But Shifu and Blythe, this is a great soldier map. I personally love playing soldier. A lot of good high ground to play here. But looks like they're gonna fight on top of the stairs. Common pick. Flame Turtle going up in the air, gonna start harassing the back line.
Yeah, you gotta be careful on the side of Washington of like funneling into those choke points there. Flame Turtle can just put out a lot of AoE damage. And why is Diablo actually getting a little bit lost there? He was trying to find Flame Turtle, but unfortunately lost track of him. It's gonna be Shifu though, getting a great pick onto the Empire. So now that pharmacy combo, wings clip, they are out of the sky. Wise Diablo with a double kill. That's gonna be Washington getting control of the point first.
And meanwhile, the entire time, Sly and Wonk were there 1v1ing, just stalling on the point. It's actually, the entire fight on point was only a 5v5 because it was just the Roadhog May battle going on in the background.
Oh, great hook coming out from Snap, but answered in kind with a Graviton Surge. Here's the Blizzard. Doesn't quite connect because LOS does work on that, but Soulman coming in now. Resurrection does come out on the side of Utah, so it's again going to be a 6v6 fight now. But Tactical Visor coming out from Bly. It's going to get walled on off. And now they're answering in kind from University of Washington here. They've got the Nano Visor, though, and Shifu cleaning up. That's a 4K for him.
That was that looked like, I didn't get to see it, but it looked like the minute Zeus got that Nano, just threw it on, and it was perfectly executed. Nice timing. Unexpected, too, probably, as it looked with the quick 4-kill.
All right, 50% already on the board for Washington here. Now they've got that Earth Shatter, and that's the only tool to work with. Will it be able to buy enough time for the rest of the members of Washington to build up their ultimates? It's going to be very difficult, as they do have to play into a sound barrier along with the Barrage. Here comes the Earth Shatter. Didn't quite connect coming up from Platypus, but it's a 2-for-2 trade. Barrage does come on out, and that's going to be Flame Turtle with a double kill.
They are showing great Oh, no, they're going to get wiped out, and Utah is going to take this point. Good timing, 77%, didn't let it get to 99. And let's see if Washington can come back and have an answer. Ultimate advantage.
Hook comes out. That's going to be Shifu going down, and they're going to have to back away here. Instead, they're just going to continue to scrap here, but it's going to be Sly with that Primal Rage, just knotting them all back, and there we go. That's one way to disengage. Just Maywall off the choke and make sure no one can get in.
That's the best kind of call you can make, is to deny your entire team from going in. Nice little stall hog.
Definitely using that whole hog just to try and buy them some more time as Bly is working his way on up. Here's the Graviton Surge. Charge comes on out. Meat Rocket will fall, but the Resurrection comes out from Empire once again. But the Blizzard, they've got to be careful. Execute free, caught on it. Wonk tries his best to get the headshots, but he's getting pocketed by Empire there. Execute free will survive, and great hold coming out from Utah.
Washington does have the answer now, though. They have the Nano Visor and the Sound Barrier to go in with. They just need to not get picked off out here. Hook is already out by XQ3, so they're going to want to do something here now. They need to go in now. 60%, and they have the ultimate answers right now to do this. And Utah does recognize that, though. They are backing up on the point, playing defensively.
They finally let up the pressure now. They're off to the point, holding over there, but they have to be careful. Flame Turtle has to be careful with how he uses the shift, but huge Earth Shatter lands onto 3. There's the charge. Want and Wise Diablo cleaning up 2. Now Shifu pushing forward with that Nano Visor, and they're going to be able to get that kill onto Empire, which is the most important thing. So no resurrection for him, but he will have it for the next team fight. So at 86%, they'll be able to flip it on back, but this might be the final team fight.
Flame Turtle probably going to look to get some nice positioning, get a Helix, or not Helix Rocket, but the Rocket Barrage in a nice location to catch him off guard. Already pushing up though to try to deny them even come on the point. Fat hook onto Zeus.
Great wall coming out from Wonk. They're splitting up the team and allow them to pick up. Flame Turtle is able to make it to the back. He goes for the barrage, but he finds absolutely nothing. Now, Washington cleaning up. They're going to be able to tie it up here on Lijiang 1-1.
Here we go.
Score 1-1.
So it looks like the Fair Mercy did not work out for them that well there. I'm just not able to do a lot. Just kept on pushing into so much where the Fair couldn't get in a good position to do anything with it.
Oh, most definitely. And now we are moving on to Night Market here, our third point of Lijiang Towers. And this is also another map where we can see the Pharmacy combo, but it looks like Flame Turtle wants to swap off, so they're going to go once again back to that triple tank composition. Now on the side of University of Washington, they might be going for this 2-2-2. Wonk feeling a little comfortable on this May. He did have some good blizzards there, and also the wall off is just such a huge tool to use.
And Blizzard's really trying to eliminate this triple tank composition with every way possible, but they're just not able to get rid of it.
Oh, now they did have that charge coming in. Sly now a little bit out of position though. It's University of Washington on the point first. They're trying their best. Cook comes out. There's another wall, but there are 2 entrances over at that end. Great charge comes out, and that's going to be 2 kills already going over. Wise Diablo cleaning on up. He's already 50% on the way towards his ultimate. Platypus has his Earth Shatter. This is just nuts. And now we're seeing once again that snowball effect coming in here on control point maps.
All it took was execute free to land that hook onto Wise Diablo. Wise Diablo did have the shift for it, and all the damage coming in to get that nice charge up and just have that Zarya charge just to delete the entire team. So much damage out of a high-powered Zarya.
Oh, huge shatter. They weren't
here.
expecting it at all, and they're going to be able to clean up on the side of Washington. Platypus doing a great job. I mean, take a look at that. He's already at 40% towards his next one.
And they're going to have the Gravitron answer for here naturally. So much damage come out of Wiz Diablo. Sly's looking... Oh, no. Oh, it just said 92 for me. They have no ultimate, though, on Utah's side. That's scary.
Yeah, XE3 Snaps has to be careful with that defense matrix. Once you run out, once you get D-Mech, that's going to be Wise Diablo looking for a tactical visor coming on out from Shifu. He pushes forward, and oh, you have to be really careful as that Diva. But unfortunately, he got D-Mech so quickly there. Shifu found his window of opportunity. He even pleases up Empire. Empire has been having such a difficult job so far here, trying to build up that res, and now things just not working out for them. Almost 70% on the board for Washington.
Yeah, Shifu had so much backup on that entire play, though. That was impressive. A lot of healing, nice bubble. Go in there, just get to pick up on Empire. 75% already. Washington being very dominant right now. The Zarya play out of Wiz Diablo, though, is just very impressive. There was a Gravitron, though, with the wall onto the Blizzard.
Yeah, they've got everything to just stall this out, even get the team wipe. But Platypus has another Earth Shatter at the ready. Their ultimate management has been so good coming out from University of Washington here on Night Market now. And with that wall up, there's no chance for anybody to try and make it onto the point. So Washington now on the verge of tying this up once again.
Score 1.
All right. Just so much interesting back and forth out of these two teams. It's a really good matchup, but how do you shut down Wiz Diablo?
There's a lot of actually threats on the side of the University of Washington to really look out for at this point. Like you mentioned, Wise Diablo has been nuts on this Zarya, but also Wong really throwing a wrench in the works on the side for University of Utah. It doesn't look like they really know how to play around the May wall there, and he was continually walling them off, splitting up the team fight into 6v3s for Washington there. Now we are back on to Garden, and so we do have the pharmacy coming out once again, and they used it to great effect. Empire, she was getting off some great resurrections. Has to be careful, eating a fire strike to the face.
Almost got the boop up onto Platypus there, though. Gonna get a nice hook on the Platypus, bring him in, instantly delete him. Very nice. Get the front line out of the way. And naturally, are they gonna back off? It looks like they're gonna still try to contest when this opens. Another hook.
But unfortunately, no follow-up damage that time, and now they are going to contest the point. Shifu getting some free damage off, is able to take out Snaps, and once again, Wise Diablo just
94%
house.
charge right now. 94% charge. That's so much damage.
And take a look at the position that University of Washington is in once again. Just snowballing out of control, out of the hands of Utah here. Washington already have that nano visor for this next team fight to work with. There's no Diva this time to try and eat it up. Oh no, what? Concussive blast off the map.
And they're going to Utah's definitely want to capitalize on this right now. Going to go in. They even have the resurrection. They just kind of go on the point and die and just fight again after the resurrection out of Empire.
Oh, Flame Turtle with the barrage, shutting down Shifu, who had that nano visor. So things looking really good. Resurrection comes on out. That tempo res to bring back Sly, and Flame Turtle's just picking off the rest of Washington.
Wow, Flame Turtle was like 1 HP for so long. Empire quickly making an executive decision to solo res Sly, and it looks like it paid off. Just able to get everybody healed up. I can't believe that Flame Turtle was actually allowed to stay alive for that long and still able to do the damage needed. All right.
Flame finding some great opportunities for his team there, opening up that last team fight with a great boop. The Wise Diablo does have that Graviton. There's no resurrection this time. Empire is actually building up to it really quickly. He almost has another one.
Yeah, you're gonna want to look for Bly here to maybe try to get behind them to have a surprise tactical visor. He's gonna do it during the Gravitron.
Surge! And Empire comes on in. Oh no! Empire just caught out a little bit there, and so she had to commit. And unfortunately, yeah, Wong with the follow-up whole hog. That's the meat grinder.
That was a nano boosted whole hog, point blank range. That is so much damage. Too much damage. I mean, God, the damage that comes out of whole hog is just like, it's like, why play Reaper when you can just play him and just do so much damage, you know? Fly running in.
Yeah, now XQ free. That snaps. Oh, gets all the CC as he tries to hold hog, but still 2 for 1. Now things going largely in favor of Utah here as Wonk is trying his best to fight on back. Platypus with the great charge onto Sly. Flame Turtle with the barrage comes on in. He's got the safety of the barrier to keep him alive. Real back and forth affair here on Garden. It's going to be flipped back in favor of Utah.
We are really back and forth right now. How many times has this been capped? 1, 2, 3 times now already for Garden?
Yeah. Now it's just the support ults on both sides. Zeus trying his best to work his way on up to that nano visor, but they've got to be careful in Washington. They have to get Empire. She's been getting some great resurrections off, particularly on this point. They go in with that sound barrier. Slide dropped a little low, and they're gonna. Oh no, Meat Rocket wasn't able to connect with it. He goes down. Bly goes down. Now Empire comes on in. That's gonna be a 3-man res. Unfortunately, Bly did not cap it, but that's gonna allow them for that sound barrier. Now they're fighting on back as Utah.
Platypus with a nice little shadow right there. That was all just ultimates coming up and use them when they got them, and it was able to cap the. No, it wasn't enough actually.
Now, this is just going to be the final opportunity. Soulman has to stay alive, but unfortunately falls to his death there. 96. Wonk is able to switch off onto Tracer and contest the point, but they're already fighting into a 6v5. Snaps does have that whole hog to keep everyone at bay over at bridge. Overtime ticking on down. The candle is burning. Wise Diablo tries to get on, but it's not going to be able to get there. And so now we're all tied up here on Lijiang.
Was Diablo 96% for that Gravitron, really hoping to get it, probably just slamming Q and shift, just trying to stay alive. Hoping for that Gravitron, but
alright, so now really scrapping back is University of Utah, not allowing Washington to repeat that performance that they had on Nepal here. So we're going to map number 5, point number 5 here on Lijiang Towers. We're back onto Control Center, where Wonk pulled out that mate initially, and it was used to pretty good effect here, and so he's going to be pulling that out once again. We'll see if they have an answer on the side of Utah.
I don't feel like the May was all that. Maybe I wasn't seeing it all that impactful, but they're definitely going to try it again. Thought it worked. Looks like both teams circling around.
Yeah, Utah, they might have had some spidey senses going there, felt there might have been a main. They didn't want to play into a wall-off charge combo, and so great job just avoiding that completely. They're just going to go ahead and take this high ground here, and now we do have Sly going into the back line with Flame Turtle in tow. 3 kills quickly going over in favor of Utah. They're trying to contest for as long as possible as Wonk as the point was unlocked, but it's going to be Utah taking the point first.
Yeah, that quick wipe. Oh, and a nasty hook on the Wiz Diablo. Did get a nice stagger there, but that initial fight right there just shows nice mechanical skills on the player and nice team coordination to be able to pick up a triple kill out of the team that quickly without any ultimates.
Last time we saw a great holding pattern coming out from Utah here at this choke point. They were able to use their ultimates to a great effect here, but they don't have the tank ultimates, the CC ultimates, the barrage coming out though. They have that, and it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade as Wonk gets booped off the map.
That was very worth right there. Even if you don't pick up the kills of the rocket barrage, there was just so much damage, and the team able to get those picks off. Now they are going to lose one though, overextending right there. Gonna get a 2-res off and just keep holding this little choke point right here. 43%. Looks like we do have Nano Visor ready for Washington, hoping to make an impactful push.
Yeah, but it's going to be Bly pushed forward with his own tactical visor. He doesn't have a nano, unfortunately, so the damage not quite sticking. Slido doing a really good job of trying to keep the backline busy. It's a 2-for-1 trade as Shifu comes in. He's getting free damage off onto Flame Turtle, but the Pocket Mercy still there. Empire working towards another resurrection there. They still haven't made their way onto the point, but here we go. Nano Visor coming on now. Flame Turtle immediately goes on down. Sound Barrier comes on out. Empire flipped his wings. They're going to push forward, and they're finally going to be able to take the point.
And they're going to take that point with still 3 ultimates for their side, unless they burn one here trying to fight Denial. No way. They're just going to wipe out Denial. Wow, that was all it was Zeus Shifu combo going in, and they still have Grab Shatter Barrier. Looks like Sly is
how Washington is holding this. They've got the Earth Shatter, they've got the Graviton. You want to play this at the choke. They've even got the whole Hawk to play with, but instead, they're giving them all of this free room to work with. This is going to allow Washington to actually, Utah to just come in, go for a dry run. Here's the Graviton Surge. There's the follow-up with the whole Hawk. Once again, the meat grinder.
Oh,
Res?
Shatter.
Into an Earth Shatter. And not going to be able to res this one this time, Empire. Unfortunately, a little bit questionable coming out there, but they are starting to get more and more ultis out on the side of Washington, but Shifu was able to clean this up. Now he's worked his way towards another tactical visor there.
Looks like Sly's in the back line still trying to hit people, trying to get his team back. Did have his Q ready. Now he's going to back up, get some heals. And now we have, again, Nano Visor for Shifu and Zeus, hoping to be able to hold this point. See if we can see an impactful Rocket Barrage here. Coming out of Flame Turtle. Oh, nope. It's gonna get instantly deleted.
Yeah, great play coming out from Wong there. Even forcing the mech out from Snaps there. Now it's gonna be a trade, but the Resurrection does come on out. They've got that Nano Visor though for Shifu.
Boostio!
Unfortunately, the Boostio comes out once again, and now Bly pushing forward. Picks up 2 kills there. Man, that was so unfortunate. But even though they lose this team fight, they're going to be able to contest one more time here on the side of Washington. They're doing a great job of actually stalling this out. And so they'll be able to move forward with Platypus. He's going to have that Earth Shatter at the ready, but that's the only ultimate. He's got to be able to catch out Empire with it, make sure the Resurrection's off the table.
Only at 50% though. Gonna get a quick Earth Shatter just to CC the team so they can run onto the point. 97% they have to touch. And Shifu is going to be able to touch just in the nick of time.
Yeah, Wise Diablo cleaning up 2 already. Empire not able to build up that Resurrection. It's going to be difficult. Battle Mercy coming on out. Takes out Zeus. They're trying to stall for as long as possible. Is Snap there, but he gets demeched and then hammered by Platypus. And now last minute stall attacks is coming out, but it's not going to be enough. 92-93. They're going to try and hold up real far ahead. But take a look. Coming out. It's that far, try to play that sneaky far, try to get out to the point, but he won't be able to make it. Washington finally battle back. They're going to be able to tie it up 2-2 in this best of 7 series.
We are back and forth. Very good matchup though, but this is a back and forth. It's going to make for a very, very strong best of 7 game here. Oh, here is that fat, yeah. So much damage.
All right, so now it is going to be Utah's pick, and 99 nanoed with no ammo. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it is loser's pick, so it's going on back, just ping pong back and forth. It's going to be Crimson Gaming's pick here, and surprise, surprise, we'll see what they pick. But I'm feeling it's probably going to be something like I want to say, oh, it's going to be Numbani.
Another hybrid. I like it. We went escort, Koth, hybrid, Koth, back to a hybrid.
Yeah, now Numbani, a different beast though. Teams highly likely to be able to pull off a full hold defense. It's going to be Utah starting off on the defensive end here. And so we'll see what they pull out for their composition. It's not unheard of to see some Metras or even some Torbjorns. We'll see if they pull out any surprises, but already they're hovering over this pharmacy.
Naturally, we're going to see Platypus. He's probably going to go Reinhardt. He's going to go Orisa. We're going to see Platypus on Orisa. Calling it. calling an Orisa right now.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it, but it's not the greatest of offensive picks so
Absolutely
far.
not. I just
You
seen
could
him
try
pick
to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can try to get like the halt kills, right? Pull people off over at the ledge, but no, instead he's gonna go tried and true with that Reinhardt. Empire asks you guys running Bastion, right?
So it looks like we're gonna see the pharmacy again. Oh yeah, I seen that in the chat. I was hoping to see Wong stick on the Hanzo though, honestly. He did take that Hanzo pick again.
Oh, they're just memeing in chat. Bastion is just basically better Soldier 76. Remember when we saw the Bastion buffs coming on out? That's what Reddit was just proclaiming. Bastion's the better Soldier 76, but how often do we see Bastion now?
We don't. Kind of nerfed his durability. And his durability was insane when he first came out. And he was like a better soldier. It's like, but I mean, he's a selfish soldier because he can only heal himself. So
yeah. And so now that pharmacy, they are sticking on to it. Very odd composition coming out on the side of Utah for their first hold here. High ground control is going to get contested. They have to be careful. Wonked already purpled, and he goes for the take a breather, but you can't heal through that, buddy. And already 2 kills going over for the defense.
I don't even think Flame Turtle picked up a lot of damage here. This Fire Mercy having to stick through, but just a nice pick onto Wonked there. It looked like Platypus was trying to shield him as he was trying to heal him while anti-healed, but like something hit him. Probably the Pharah shooting over the Reinhardt shield there got him picked off.
Ooh, Shifu though, finding that quick kill onto Bly. That's a huge pick off, and now they are onto the high ground here. They do have to be careful as Sly is, excuse me, not Sly. No, it is Sly. Purple, he gets taken on out, so that's a 2-for-1 trade. They are on to the point right now. It is not being contested. They're playing over at the ledge. They're waiting for the respawn. Zeus might get caught out. He's dropped real low. It's going to be Bly that cleans that up. More trades coming on out as Snaps is trying his best to contest on the point. Here comes the barrage from Flame, though.
And they are actually going to take this point back. That was a very nice push out of Washington, but it doesn't seem to be strong enough.
Yeah, they were just biding their time, waiting for the respawn to come back on in. And they gave up 2 ticks for it, though. But now Shifu, he's almost got that nano visor at the ready. Empire has to be careful. She's got to hide. She cannot get caught out here to that nano visor. So we see her playing over at the other end with Bly. Bly almost has his visor at the ready.
We are going to see Wonk trade out the Roadhog for the D.Va, though. A nice boop there. It looks like this Wonk is going to want to die for Empire, knowing that the Resurrection is ready. But there goes the Nano Visor onto Shifu.
Empire, though, getting focused down, uses the end bone, only gets 2 off of that Resurrection. And so now it's going to be a 5v5 fight on the point. Zeus has to be careful. He is in the back line right now. A great positioning coming out from Utah as they are able to get that kill onto Soul Man. But now Shifu going uncontested on the high ground, getting free damage off onto all of these tanks. He's already at 50% towards his ultimate. Here comes the self-destruct coming up from Wonked. Isn't going to quite connect, but the Primal Rage coming up from Sly. Just trying to bet them all off the point right now, but Earthshatter comes out, unfortunately gets eaten up by the barrier coming out from that Winston. They're still not focusing down Empire, though. She's working her way up towards another resurrection, finally gets caught on out. Now Flame Turtle is the next target. Shifu building up another tactical visor, trying to clean up the final members as they are trying to trickle on in. Shifu will be able to clean that up. After about 3 minutes, they'll be able to cap point A.
Wow, that was a lot of trading back and forth. Survival of who's got the most mechanics, and the lucky ultimates is coming out there. And it looks like they are gonna have barrier and the nano. It looks like Shifu's only gonna be 4% for the visor, so you might see Zeus try to throw it on to somebody else. Hopefully not another boostio coming off from Zeus though.
Yeah, we don't want to see any more boostios here. But now, Payload making some good headway here in the streets phase of Numbani. So we do have Sly immediately jumping into the background, but now he's getting that treatment coming up from University of Washington. Wise Diablo just focusing him on down. He's got that Graviton Surge at the ready, but I don't know if they need it. Here's the res, and there we go. That's gonna be the Graviton Surge. Easy cleanup coming on out. Flame Turtle tries to go for the barrage, but man, a little too late as the majority of the team was already dead. Empire just gonna go ahead and reset with their team.
Yeah, that was a very patient Gravitron out of Wiz Diablo there, just waited for the Resurrection. Resurrection went out and able to capitalize on 3 of them, and then the Biotic Grenade going out to anti-heal them and naturally just blow everybody up. Zeus did throw the nano onto the Reinhardt. Wasn't necessarily needed, but at least it was another boostio.
Alright, Washington looking a lot better here on Numbani than they have historically on the payload maps, the escort maps. Now they've got 3 ultimates to work with. Wonk has that self-destruct, but the Earth Shatter comes on out. I thought they were going to follow it up with the self-destruct. They did not though, but it doesn't matter. Tactical Visor coming out from Shifu, but immediately gets focused on down by Bly. Not going to be quite enough though. All the kills going in favor of Washington here. Primal Rage trying his best to try and contest the point, but he eventually will have to back off and regroup with his team. Now the payload making great headway here in favor of Washington. They've got 3 minutes and only have to push this about another 20 meters.
Yeah, Utah's definitely going to want to come out with this nano visor out of Meat Rocket and Bly to stop this. And then there it goes right now.
Tactical Visor, but a lot of the damage mitigated by that sound barrier coming on out. Shifu coming on in, and Wise Diablo with another one. Here's the self-destruct follow-up though. Wonk with 2. That's huge. If they can just get this Winston off, they might be able to complete this out, but no. Now the defense is starting to trickle on into V2. They just need to keep their bodies on the point, and it's going to be all right for the most part as Empire just booping them around. Now the rest of the defense coming on in, and Platypus once again should not have gone for that Earth Shatter there.
Yeah, a little eager Shatter there, especially while heel locked. They knew that was a losing fight right there. Shifu's kind of poking out a little bit, team screaming, get back. He's like, oh, okay, fine.
All right, but they still have plenty of time to work with. 2 minutes left on the clock. They have the nano boost to work with, but now they're kind of in a power trough. 4 of their players not anywhere close to their ultimates yet. I think they should just go in for a drive run, try to bait out that sound barrier, get that defensive ultimate out of the way, try to even get the barrage out of the way.
Yeah, Utah's in an awkward position right now because they don't have the mercy for the Pharah anymore, but Pharah has her ultimate, so... Or, Flame Turtle has the ultimate. Here goes the sound barrier out of Empire.
That's good, and fortunately, Shifu tried to use his tactical visor there, but he was immediately killed off. And I did not want them to use any ultimates on the side of University of Washington. So great save coming out from Utah to save his ultimate for the next fight. Now they are starting to really build up their power, their momentum on the side of Washington. They're gonna have that nano visor. They've almost got 3 more ultimates here. And this is what they want for that final team fight. They want a clean team fight win here. It's coming down to the final team fight. Now they're gonna have to be careful. Slide does have that Earth Shatter at play.
Yeah, and with the Earth Shatter, probably gonna go in with the Meat Rocket onto the Nano onto Sly. There's gonna go 1 Earth Shatter followed by Diva Bomb.
Oh, but Flame Turtle just landing down those rockets. Now Shifu pushes forward with that Nano Visor, cleaning up Bly and Meat Rockets, and now everything going in favor of Washington. They're cleaning on up. They've got a few more seconds left to push this payload on in. Are they gonna be able to grab it out? They are.
Nice Gravitron, did not let the Lucio.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's crucial. 14 seconds remaining. That means that if Utah complete out the map with over a minute, that Washington will be given an extra 40 seconds there, added onto the clock to attack point A. So that's a huge, crucial thing on the side of Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. Capturing overtime and then pushing it without overtime is an instant GG. So, Pro Genji, we haven't seen it much in this matchup right now. Flame Turtle showed the Genji earlier, I think on King's Row. No,
I think it was on Nepal.
Yeah,
but he didn't like it and just opted for more of that Pharah play, which still didn't work out. But hey, this is Numbani. There is a level of verticality there that you can abuse to find different openings to get in on with that Dragon Blade. You don't have to just run straight at the opponent. But it looks like actually they're going to go for this dive composition on the offense. And I really do like playing this triple dive composition, the tankier triple dive composition with the Diva along with that Winston, particularly here on Mimbani. You can approach from main. You could try to even go in from the lower ground. Not too many teams play it from the ledge side, but it works out really well, especially if the Soldier and the Ana try to play on from the opposite end, which is why you're already seeing Wonked actually in this trap position. So basically what happens is divers, they spot out Zeus, right? They spot out the Ana on the 76. They try to jump onto them, but Wonked is there to try and surprise them and just get the hook in. So we'll see if this bait and switch works out for Washington.
Yeah, I think you have a nice prediction going on right now. So let's see if it holds true here.
Right, so now they are approaching from main is going to be University of Utah. They do spot out that composition. Here comes the dive, but here's the hook. Unfortunately, goes straight into the shield, but they are going to be able to back away using Roadhog as that shield for the DPS and support duo there. Now they are onto the point. They're going to have to contest soon. Shifu getting that first kill onto Flame Turtle. That's huge. And now Shifu, 3 quick kills. That's going to be the defense holding pretty steady here. Execute 3 snaps, even getting demeched. Easy cleanup for Platypus.
That moment when the only person for the kill to pick up a kill is the Zenyatta. Feels bad.
Yeah, to remember Zenyatta's, they do so much damage, especially with the Order Discord. But yeah, we saw it play out like me, the Prophet, had predicted there. They went for the dive. Wong was trying to get that hook, but hey, they were able to back out, did not lose anything off of it. Were able to come in with that recontest and were able to take that point back. And so now 2 minutes and 40 seconds to work with. Once again, approaching from that main high ground. Platypus starting to get focused down just a little bit there, but a great hook comes on out. Unfortunately, though, Wonk wasn't able to follow on in. It's going to be the entry frag coming on out, but Empire with a great Earth Shatter, followed up by that Transcendence to keep everyone alive, though. So unfortunate for him, and now things going largely in favor of Utah here as they're cleaning up all the kills.
I'm not too sure what Empire was doing over there, just kind of skating around as Lucio, not doing too much healing there, maybe forgetting that the radius is super small now. I'm not too sure what that was about. Maybe wanting to throw some pressure on the Soldier. Here comes the Diva Bomb coming out.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was absolutely necessary, but now the respawners are coming on in, and so we do have that nano boost onto Platypus. It's the Kaiju battles, Reinhardt versus the Winston right now. Winston with that Primal Rage just running around, batting people around. It's going to be Empire that picks up the kill onto Lucio, and now another Earth Shatter. Unfortunately, it went into that Winston shield, and it looks like Utah finally broken the defense, and they will be able to take point A.
Yeah, Flame Turtle does have Dragon Blade, so hopefully they can keep the momentum going here now, or establish more momentum that they have. Meat Rocket, I'm liking Meat Rocket Zenyatta do the damage though. Pick up a lot of damage, pick up some kills, able to get that early Transcendence off to keep his team in the fight.
Yeah, a lot of people do underestimate the damage that Zenyatta can put out, especially if you go for a fully charged right click. Now, we do have Washington looking to try and contest as the payload does make the bend here. Wonka swapped off to this Tracer, trying his best. He does have that... Ooh, never mind, he's dead. He doesn't have it. But here's the Graviton Surge coming up from Wise Diablo. Unfortunately, no follow-up as Sly was in the middle of that bubble there. Here comes the Dragon Blade coming out for Flame Turtle. Unfortunately, he was not a recipient of that sound barrier, so he goes down to Soul Man. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but the respawn and Bandit, it's going to be going in favor of the offense here. Now Bly cleaning up.
Yeah, they have so much momentum now. Right now, they have the Transcendence as well as Bly's Tactical Visor. All Washington has right now is Wonk's Pulse Bomb. It's a nice ultimate, but Wiz Diablo doesn't not even close to the grab to get a nice wipe to shut down Utah's push right now.
Wonk's trying to buy some time, and Platypus with the huge charge coming on in. Here's the Earth Shadow, lands onto it, dude. They're going to be able to follow up, and I didn't think they were going to be able to contest, but here they are. 2 kills already going on over. Snaps was able to get a kill onto Soul Man, but too little too late. Damage done. They are able to go ahead and actually contest here and stop them right before they get the checkpoint.
That was huge. Shifu was able to do a lot of damage without popping ultimates, and Meat Rocket had that Transcendence, but his team just wasn't dying fast enough, didn't feel the Transcendence was viable until people started getting deleted without ultimates being used. So that was a tough position. Probably wanted to use that Transcendence, but it's hard to call when there's no ultimates being used.
Alright, so Sleep comes on out, Snaps taking a white nap, but Live pushes forward with that Tactical Visor. Now, we got the Nano Visor getting largely eaten up by Snaps. Great job coming out from him, but finally Shifu finds his opening. Gets a little bit of help actually coming out from Sly, who actually, with the Primal Rage, just batted him into the air, giving him that angle. Now, once again, University of Washington doing a great job of deflecting this offense.
Yeah, it was a little messy. I'm not sure why Meat Rocket went in with that Transcendence. Going to, looks like maybe doesn't like playing Zenyatta at this choke. I don't know. Instantly going back to the Ana, feeling like he can provide more healing to his team while playing Ana.
All right, now time really dwindling down on the side of Utah here. We do have the Graviton Surge coming out. 3 members caught in, and oh, the huge Pulse Bomb comes out from Wong. Flame Turtle does have that blade, but he gets cleaned up by Wise Diablo, and man, University of Washington just really putting on a clinic here on Numbani.
Yeah, Tracer just ran up to that Gravitron press Q and just told the entire team to try again. That was very well executed.
Oh, and they have no ultimates to work with on Utah for this final push, and they're playing against Platypus, who hasn't been getting the greatest of Earth Shatters off because, well, Sly's been doing an amazing job with his barriers, but now he's got a 2,000 barrier to work with. What? That's a great
Look at
pickup.
Platypus, though. There it goes.
Oh!
That was a 4-man Earth Shatter. Gonna get a nice ante on top of the Earth Shatter. Probably just start deleting people here. Nice and disengaged by Meat Rocket and Bly. And look. Oh.
Now Tactical Visor does come on out, and that might be the coup de grace, the finishing blow. It's Q3 trying his best, but unfortunately he gets cleaned up. And finally, Washington are able to answer back on a hybrid map, and now they're leading the series 3-2. Finally taking the lead up against Utah.
I really liked as you were talking about Platypus's Earth Shatters. He was hiding in the corner, just waiting for that perfect opportunity. Came out and got a nice 4 shatter. That was very well played.
Wong asking if anyone's super hungry. I'm raising my hand over on this end. Wise Diablo, man, doing a great job finding Graviton after Graviton. Really was the University of Washington here, just cleaning up. And he was continually super high charged. Looks like we're going to be taking a 10-minute break, though. Oh, excuse me, I cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, 10-minute break. We're just
looks like 3.
back. No. Well, we'll see how everyone feels. But once again, this is the Tespa Training Grounds Promotion Tournament, best of 7. Washington now on map point as we go onto a break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back shortly enough. Oh, yeah.
Traveling to Hanamura.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tespa Training Grounds Promotion Tournament. This is game number 6 between Crimson Gaming, that's University of Utah, facing off against Washington. Now, Washington leading the series 3-2 as we move on to Hanamura. This is our first assault map of the day. Hey, Clutch, your mic's muted, by the way. Just letting you know. But yeah, here we are loaded onto the map. Actually, he might not be back yet, but it doesn't matter.
Oops.
I can fill in for now. There we go. Hanamura.
Thank you for saying that. I was just talking about how it is Hanamura no longer since this new patch just came into place.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. You know, I hate draws, but I don't know. The new system, there are ways that it just can suck. It can just
It's a little cheesy. It's a little cheesy, I have to agree, but I have way too many draws on my record and way too many it's just so much time wasted in an overtime draw, you know.
My biggest complaint about draws it isn't that they happen, it's that they affect your win rate, right? If draws were taken out, my win rates would skyrocket by like 5-6% on each hero. But instead I'm sitting in like low 60s. Like, just get them out, get me into like 65, maybe 70, you know, territory there. But here we go, as it is gonna be Utah starting off on the attacking end. Now they are going with a triple tank setup. Blythe this time is going to be picking up the D.Va, but the May wall comes on out. They are able to make it on in. Platypus going a little bit too far, gets taken out already. Here's the hook coming out from Snaps, and now that's already 2 picks going in favor of Utah.
They play this map. That was a very impressive push, all the way wrapped on the backside, coming on the point as a collective death ball. Flamethrower gonna pick up the Lucio, gonna take down Wonks. This is new team. Hello, new team. Hello, who's this? Wow.
Yeah, despite Wonk actually getting that wall, you saw the entirety of Utah made it into that right small health pack room, no problem whatsoever. That was really decisive coming out for them. Now they have 7 minutes to capture point B.
Yeah. They play this map. Look at that, another late May wall as well as they come onto this point.
Yeah, the only person they were able to wall off was Meat Rocket, but unfortunately they didn't have enough damage coming out. Now we do have the tactical visor coming out from Shifu, who picked up 1 kill, but Flame Turtle tries his best to answer, and kind of unfortunately though, it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade, and this does, favor the defense here, as their respawn distance is basically just a casual stroll out the spawn door.
Yeah, Washington definitely going to be able to just naturally defend Chief, Blind, or Flame Turtle. Wait, we have Flame Turtle on Soldier now. Hold on. It's different, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
I believe it was
Bly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're running this triple tank. They definitely do have like a set strat here. They know what they're doing, the way they're approaching. I mean, we even saw on their second approach onto main there, they wanted to snowball it out of control. Even though Wonged had that wall off, only 1 member got caught out. Now they're going to go ahead and approach for the high ground. Now this is going to be a bit difficult here, as we do have a pause coming out. And so it's all right. There's no combat going on right now. And it did come out on the side of... Who called for the pause? Wonk did. So it's going to be on the side of Washington here calling for the pause.
Discord DC. Alrighty. Can't play without comms. So Utah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ultis going in versus 3. They are going to be able to answer with the nano visor, speed boost, sound barrier, earth shatter, gonna lay everything on. Maybe it'll be interesting if XQ Free does hang on to the whole hog after that initial wipe's been put through to keep them off the point, so they can actually capture the entire point B, as you said, so Washington doesn't just casually stroll on by back onto the point.
They have to be careful, though. A lot of people have forgotten about that Graviton Blizzard combo that Wise Diablo and Wonked are very close to establishing here, and it's huge. You really do have to be careful. We do have Platypus, unfortunately, dropped out of the game, and he was the Reinhardt. He had the Earth Shatter. That is so unfortunate for them.
Yeah, that's all they're going to have now with an Earth Shatter for when they drop down onto a nice Blizzard combo is and then just nanoing somebody to put a lot of damage. Wiz Diablo almost having the grab, but with that Earth Shatter out of play, I don't think just Zeus and Wonk are going to have the answer.
Oh boy. Want to buy Match Medic in Overwatch? Yeah, definitely do want that Tachyon. I mean, they finally got it in League of Legends, like after what, 6 years, 7 years?
7, yeah.
Yeah. It should be just a staple in competitive gaming, but I mean, for Overwatch, it's not even a year old yet after release. I believe release was end of May. I think it's made great strides. Is it at 12 spectator slots right now? 16? Something obscene amount of spectator slots. But yeah, lots of improvements have been made. Yeah.
Actually, I think it's at least 16, because I know like Blizzard, for example, will have 1 spectator per person, and then like the other camera angle, stuff like that. So
yeah, the BlizzCon team was pretty stacked to say the least.
Yeah.
All right, but it's just our man Tachyon here, working as your observer, as your stream producer, just putting in all the behind the scenes work for us here. We appreciate you, man.
Golf clap. All right.
So we're finally getting the final ready ups, but now this is unfortunate because Platypus is still in spawn now.
And Lucio has this speed boost ready. I'm expecting an E quickly. I think it'd be nice if the Reinhardt come back on. I think they're waiting for the Reinhardt to get back in position. That's good sportsmanship.
That is sportsmanship right there. Everyone gets a medal. That is fantastic. All right, so now they know for sure that the Reinhardt's up there. That is, yeah, that's a great
And now they're
display
gonna go.
from them. But here we go, Nano Visor coming on out, but here's the Graviton Surge with the Blizzard. Flame Turtle only getting 1 kill off of it, but now the Sound Barrier keeps them largely alive, and that's huge.
All right, so that was 1 ulti to counter 3. Bly and Sly, have their ultimates, but
Now Shifu is going to get forced off of that high ground here, but they didn't have that big team fight win. So defense are going to be able to trickle in one by one and try and delay this for as long as possible. Soulman is the man on point right now. Earthshatter comes out from Sly, but it's going to be Platypus pushing forward. He got that charge. Unfortunately, it did not connect onto a kill. Now Wong trying his best on that D.Va to keep this alive. We've even got the defense matrix being used here. Unfortunately, he goes down. Now the point slowly ticking up, 28% already on the board for University of Utah. But here we go, Shifu with the great angle. He's on the high ground, getting free damage on off. Sly is trying his best to eat it up. Oh, charge coming up from Sly.
D.Va's gonna be back to sleeping a little bit. That'll be nice to help with the stagger, Operation Stagger.
Yeah, they're buying themselves a lot of time here. There's currently 3 members on the point right now. Snaps with that whole hog is able to force them off. Another Earthshatter comes out from Sly. He cleans up 2. They might have just done it. Cleaning up Soulman here. 1 take 2. Take that's 3. And with 3 minutes and 49 seconds left, they'll be able to complete out Hanamura.
They deserve that right there. That was very clean execution coming out of Utah there.
Oh man, and even when they allowed Platypus actually to regain his position, they just waited him out. They knew there was a disconnect, and even through like that great sportsmanship, they could have taken advantage of that. They were able to complete it out. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great to see that level of understanding at collegiate play and stuff like that, at sportsmanship.
Yeah, it's already a feels bad moment when you disconnect and you lose your ultimate, but also to be out of position, it's even worse. But now it is going to be Washington's turn to attack here on Hanamura. We saw the side of Utah just taking it blazingly fast. We'll see if they can recreate that kind of success here on the side of Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Utah was really good at running this map, and it looks like Washington did not have the man answer for it. The Mei wall was late at both of those chokes. Pretty tough. A team that knows how to run this map against maybe a Mei that just maybe got unlucky, a little unfortunate on timing, or just not used to running it. So it's gonna be interesting to see their defense that they can end up pulling out of Utah. I mean, if their offense is that great, maybe their defense will be really good. Interesting to see if Washington has the same caliber of strategy on Hanamura.
Yeah, they were doing a really good job on the side of Utah, though, of just being real deathball-y. Yeah. And I think Wonk did have the timing right. Unfortunately, they were all just so grouped together that as soon as you see the Ryan crossing that threshold, it's already too late for that wall off. And so now we're seeing the 3-2-1 composition, that solo DPS. It's going to be Shifu on the 76 facing off against the 3-2-1 on the other end. The difference is going to be the Zarya versus the D.Va there. And once again, Death Ball comes out, but there's a charge coming on out. X2-3 getting that first kill onto Platypus, but Bly is going to get demeched there as they do back off on the side of Washington. They're going to go ahead and take that high ground control.
Wiz Diablo, interesting position here, still sitting from behind, and it caused a little bit of distraction. The entire team's going to go for Wiz Diablo as he backs up. It looks like they're just going to walk onto the point here. Oh, that bait!
Yeah, they've got to be careful. Now that Death Ball is really starting to fall apart, they've already got 2 members on there. They should be able to secure this tick, but Shifu was getting free damage off the entire time, but now they're going to be able to regroup, take back the point, only 1 tick lost.
Anyone need some healing?
That was a good play. Not maybe at this level, but uh-oh. Bye, Lucio. Yeah, they need to really get regrouped here. Now they're super staggered, just wasting a lot of time here. They're pushed beyond the door at least, though.
Yeah, Shifu was able to get the D-Mech onto Bly though, and so that's going to be huge as long as they just make sure she doesn't get her mech on back. Charge comes on out, wonked with that whole hog, completes the kill onto Sly, and now they're forcing them back, and take a look at how separated the supports are. Wise Diablo cleaning up the Empire. She goes down rather quickly in the face of a Soldier 76. Now the whole hog, nano boost coming out, but a great biotic nade. That's going to allow them to clean up that Roadhog, and now they're pushing forward. They're even gonna get the stagger onto Meat Rockets, but the Sleep Dart's gonna put a stop to things.
So going into this, Washington's definitely want to get set up real quickly on that top left, top right, but looks like Utah's gonna get their first. They do have the ulti advantage here with the Earth Shatter Nano Visor combo. They're gonna bring out the Genji, who's gonna be bothering him from the left side. Nice distraction, gonna end up. Oh, Denial's gonna pick up Wiz Diablo though. That's gonna lock him down a little bit.
Yeah, Wise Diablo was trying to bait them down from the high ground there, jumping onto the point. Unfortunately, he underestimated the finishing power on the side of University of Utah. So, 5 minutes, 40 seconds to work with as they push in. 4 ultimates as Wonk is now swapped off onto Genji. So, they need someone to try and deal with Flame Turtle, who's already taken that high ground position over the shrine.
Alrighty, 3 versus 4 ultis. On John Amura, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. They're gonna want to push here.
Graviton Surge comes out, but once again, Empire with a great sound barrier there is just going to mitigate all the damage. Now Flame Turtle from that high ground position uses that tactical visor. I don't know if he needed it quite there, but there we go. Great kickoff coming out.
They're baiting ultis, which is actually pretty smart of them. They lost that fight right there, but they definitely have the ulti advantage now to come in. They didn't even waste anything. They didn't even touch the Shatter or the Nano Visor. Sly and Bly having their ultimates. I love that name combo, to be honest.
Yeah, they're really working in conjunction together, especially in this triple tank composition. They're kind of like the Bash Brothers there. I hope you guys get the Mighty Ducks reference, or it might be a little bit after your time. But now, 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to work with. Already a great pace set by University of Utah. And once again, no one really dealing with Flame Turtle here on the high ground. It's going to be up to Wonks now as they approach just from main. Charge comes on out. There's a nano boost onto Sly. Self-destruct coming on out. It's going to connect onto Soulman there. Now already, it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade as she pushes forward. But Snaps just keeping this alive for his team along with Sly. And just like that, the offense is shut down.
Ooh, that last little hook onto Shifu to kill him just with hook damage. Alright, so...
You don't see that often.
No. So they do have 3 minutes and 49 seconds. However, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but Utah was able to do it in that amount of time. So they have lost... Washington has lost a time battle here. They need to be impactful here. They need to make a nice little push here. Some damage going out. Nice little sleep on the Soul. That'll stop the little engagement right there.
Oh, Hookin comes on out, but there we go. Snaps pushes forward with that whole hog to disengage and actually picks up the kill onto Zeus. A second one coming on out, and he's just the one-man army cleaning up half the opposing team before he finally goes down, and that's another shutdown to that Washington offense. They haven't even touched the point yet. Take a look at it. It's at 0%.
Well, they've touched it, just not making any progress. They've only contested. So let's take a look at this. Look at Flame Turtle's positioning here. That was actually a 5v6 in that little corridor there, while Flame Turtle was holding this position back on the point, punishing Shifu as he tried to make a little flank. That's kind of what shut them down. So I like their defense right now because they're changing it up. And they're not able to, the offense is not able to adapt as all the position that they're changing. There's a nice boop coming off by...
Oh, Earth Shatter, but once again, Empire has been on point with the sound barriers. Tactical Visor comes on out. It's going to be a Nano Visor for Flame Turtle. Unfortunately, Wong wasn't able to make it onto that ledge, but the Graviton Surge used by Wise Diablo there, unfortunately. So now this offense shut down once again, and time is starting to dwindle on the side of Washington.
And they're just not able to get in position. I mean, they still have 2 minutes later. They still have Shifu and Zeus still holding on to that Nano Visor.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate that Wonk wasn't able to get into position there to try and shut down that nano visor on Utah's side. Flame Turtle doing a really great job of just changing up his position. They were expecting him, of course, to be on that high ground shrine, but now he's taking on to the high ground right-hand side. And this time they're splitting their forces. 3 going on to the point, 3 pushing up from high ground, but Sly Earthshatter comes on out. Shifu did fall to that, but he was able to survive with that sound barrier. But man, everything just going continually in favor of Utah here. Self-destruct even coming out from Bly. He's going to get his mech back immediately there. And another great hold coming up from Utah.
And they're going to stagger this poor baby diva. Oh, was that a... Oh,
that was the whole hog.
BM. That's BM. That's showing
I think
some
he might have
dominance.
actually fat fingered that one.
I mean...
Tachyon says find.
How to tilt the diva, stagger her, and then solo ulti her for no reason.
But here we go. Is this the
48.
tilt medal coming out though?
Platypus out of position, team below him. Soul Man running around, Nano onto the soldier, sitting in the same position, uncontested. Shifu's gonna get ulted as well, not gonna be able to do anything with it. 34 seconds, they're gonna have a hard time getting in position and running up into Hanamura with this no ultis versus no ultis now. Which is interesting. Like, that just kind of shows, like, how fast these fights are over.
Man. But Platypus almost has that Earth Shatter. Wise Diablo, we've seen how quickly he can build up his Graviton Surge here. And so these might be the deciding factor here of whether or not they can go to a second round here. But, I mean, Snaps doesn't want that to happen. And the Widowmaker hasn't found that much success quite yet. It's a pretty taking defense coming on out, even with the sound barrier there now too. Here's a Graviton Surge coming up from Platypus, coming up from Wise Diablo with that Earth Shatter follow-up, but still, these kills, they're not decisive enough. They're trickling in on the defense one by one, just stalling this on out, and with Fly picking the kill onto Platypus, it's just a matter of time before they actually clean this up and finish out Hanamura.
And finish out Hanamura. There it is. A little bit more stagger there. All right, that's unfortunate. They had pretty good momentum going in, just couldn't get the positioning down, and Flame Turtle really playing those positions well on that back point. Really didn't know what to do with it.
They tried multiple different answers, right? Wonk tried the Diva, it didn't work out for him. Initially, I believe he tried Genji before that, but he just wasn't able to get up onto that high ground. And it's just Flame Turtle, free reign, 76 is going to continually be able to build up his ultimate time and time again. And that's just what happened.
Love a good Ana play of the game.
Whew, so now we'll see. It's all tied up here. This is going the full distance. This is a best of 7. We're on map number 7. It's tied up 3-3. Now, where does Washington want to take this? Ilios is still on the table. So is Oasis. So if they want to take it to another control map, they can. Where do you think they want to take this?
I mean, both the teams have won. I mean, we've only seen one. I mean, they only have so many choices left now. They do have 2 assault maps left. Maybe try to answer back with some good Volskaya work. I don't know.
Do you want to take it to Volskaya as Washington after that display on Hanamura?
But maybe they have an assault map that they can answer back with. Like, okay, well played on Hanamura. Let's show you our other assault map, whether it be Volskaya or drawing on the other one.
All right, so it looks like we're going to Ilios. Wonk says, remember in fall?
Boop.
And so we are going to our final deciding map. No chance for a draw here. It's all coming down to this. One more best of 5 on Ilios.
See, this is scary, though, with Flame Turtle's Pharah on Ilios. This is going to be... Flame Turtle might be able to get away with a lot of good positioning here with the Pharah Mercy combo.
There are a lot of answers to it, though. You can still play Winston and Diva into it and just mitigate a lot of the damage with both the barrier and the defense matrix. we haven't seen as many Genjis, so I don't need to really bring up Genjis. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, even though the skies are clear for the pharmacy combo, they're relatively vulnerable. You still have to be careful when you run it. We see a lot of teams just like focus down mercies, even tracers on the ground will be able to get like a clip or two off and just whittle down the mercies. So you have to be careful, and already they are hovering over it.
Yeah. If I didn't see the Flame Turtle fair come out, I'd have been pretty confused. Would probably never make another predicament or prediction again.
All right, so triple tank composition coming out on the side, or being hovered over at least on the side of Utah. It's going to be snaps one more time. Ooh, I would love to see Orisa. I love seeing these off-color picks.
Aww. I believe it though, because Wonk did pull out the Hanzo at one point, so you never know. Maybe the flex player able to pull out the Orisa.
I think there are some environmental kill possibilities here. It's a little bit more difficult. Lends itself better to Lucio boops, trying to get the boops off the ledges, but it looks like they're going pretty much standard. So triple tank on both sides with a DPS. It's going to be a pharmacy on the side of Utah, while Shifu will be picking up that Soldier 76 on the side of Washington. Now Flame Turtle already deep in the back line here, and Sly now jumping right on top of that 76, doing exactly what he needs to do. That barrier on top of that 76 means that Flame Turtle will be able to get free damage off without anyone trying to contest him.
Yeah, that positioning out of that Pharah already is what I expected to see out of Flame Turtle. Very nice positioning. At least can, for a split second, kind of confuse the team, and it seemed to work there. They're already on the point. Only with one kill, too, that they backed off with. It was a nice hook from the denial there. Ooh.
Yeah, Wonk kicking out Flame Turtle. So now Empire is trying to work his way towards a resurrect, but man, already Washington just answering right on back. That's 4 kills. They should be able to flip the point, no problem whatsoever. And only about 22% on the board for Utah.
Yeah, it was a quick flip. This is still, I've said this over and over, it's a very good matchup out of these two teams.
My ultimate is charging.
I mean, it's been going back and forth between the maps. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Different types too.
I feel like Washington had a bit of a slower start to the day, but once they woke up, they woke up. Now, we do have to be careful. Shifu getting focused down up top. Flame Turtle along with that Winston. Wong tried his best to try and kite that out with that whole hog, but now they are starting to clean up. The resurrection does come out, and that's going to be a 6v5 now in favor of Utah. Here comes the sound barrier coming out, but unfortunately, it only connects onto 2 members.
Yeah, Platypus still holding on to this Earth Shatter if need be. Tactical Visor coming off from Shifu, gonna try to make some work here. Diva's gonna just eat it with the Matrix. There goes out the Earth Shatter from Platypus. Connects to about 2 of them. Gonna just probably stagger this baby Diva. Maybe? Yeah. Oh, it instantly slapped down, and that's gonna be a nice defense out of Washington there.
And that's great. Even after that hole, they walk away with the ultimate advantage. They've got the Graviton Surge. They have the Nano Boost to work with if they want to just pop it onto Wong, who's getting closer and closer to that whole hog on the opposite end. I mean, they're working towards a sound barrier and a self-destruct. That's going to be very difficult to go in with an engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. Bly's going to maybe want to just go in there with the self-destruct to kind of mix up the team. Or, you know, you just throw a monkey in there. Oh, there's a Graviton coming out.
Graviton Surge came out, but Meat Rocket did have enough time to build up his sound barrier. Barrage comes on out. That's a lot of ultimates getting used on the side of Utah to secure this point, 85% before it gets flipped.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. I mean, even if it gets captured, maybe you have enough time to come back with a Tracer if wiped early enough, but so ultimates in favor of Washington right now. Having the Platypus wonked alties backed up with Zeus's Nano Boost. Ooh, there's a nasty hook on the Bly though.
He will be able to stay safe because of that defense matrix. But once again, here comes the whole hog, just trying to buy as much time coming out from snaps. We do have Sly trying to jump on top of this Soldier 76, but man, Wong's pushing forward with the whole hog of his own. And here's the Tactical Visor coming out from Shifu. He gets Empire, which is crucial because Empire was the only one with the ult. He had that resurrection.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates going on right now. Gonna nano boost Platypus to walk right on the point. Just do so much damage with that nano boosted hammer. Wiz Diablo also looking to be pretty powered up there. Tons of damage. Sly trying to prolong as much as possible with his primal rage. Not able to do it though. Able to stagger to almost 80% though. So late, they're gonna try to come back quickly. Already at 90%. Can Utah get back in time for a viable push here? Pharaoh looking. Flame Turtle's gonna definitely be able to touch here and avoid the Gravitron and get sucked into it. Oh, that was
unfortunately they didn't have the follow-up damage, so Fly was there to eat up a lot of that, and there we go. Resurrection comes on out. It's gonna be a 5v4 fight in favor of Washington. Huge Earth Shatter coming out from Platypus once again. They'll be able to clean it up, take the opening point here on Ilios.
At the very end there, every single member out of Washington was on fire. Kind of always, that's always interesting to see.
Score 0.
Deservedly so, everyone really contributing to that team fight. And now we are moving on to Well here. Now this is Hook City. We're gonna be looking towards Wonked and Snaps XQ3 there. See who can get the more environmental kills, possibly even Soulman and Meat Rocket.
Yeah, definitely don't forget about Flame Turtle though. I mean, those a little bit of bait, a little bit of boop. You never know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, here we go.
Now, largely mirrored compositions coming out. Pharmacy still on the side of Utah though, and I mean it's not like it was being countered hard. I just feel like Washington ended up with like the better ultimate management. And there we go. Hook comes out from Snaps. That's why Diablo immediately going down and 2 kills. That's the retreat coming out on the side of Washington. Are they going to be able to get out safely? No. As Bly gets that kill onto Wonked, and now they're just staggering the rest of them. Point unlocks, and it's going to be Utah taking control of it first.
Yeah, and both sports being quick to make sure that the entire team doesn't overextend, to just keep on getting trickles and kills while the point is still uncapped. You see that a lot. It's really unfortunate when there could have been an easy 15% of that point.
Thanks for the assist.
Washington coming in, looking to answer. Wonked. We have a Wonked on Farah now. We have Farah versus Farah now for the first time in this match.
Oh, but the Rocket Barrage coming out from Flame Turtle there. He does finally get cleaned up, but that team fight was already won in favor of Utah. They've already got 30% on the board here. Now, Empire sitting on the Resurrection. Oh!
A fat kind of denial right there.
Well, what more can you say? What more can you say?
Maximum range. Oh my god, that was tragically beautiful.
All right, now Sly with the desperation charge actually gets the kill onto Soulman. He was dropped down to about 10 HP. He also had the Biotic Nade, the heal debuff on him, and he just went for the charge and he got it. So just staggering kills left and right is Washington right now. They've got to be careful. They got to regroup and push together as a unit, but it's going to be very difficult. They're going into 5 ultimates.
Going into a nice flank though here. Mercy sitting way in the back and let their entire team die. But Shifu knows where that Mercy's at though. Looks like Shifu is trying to wrap around and get to the Mercy, but there comes a fat res. Fives are gonna come off from Shifu. Soundbird also, Rocket Barrage, Gravitron, everybody's pressing Q. Locking down the Reinhardt pretty well though. Platypus not able to do too much with that nano boost.
Stay out of my way.
And it looks like Washington was able to back cap there though, while the fight was going on. Looks like another Soulman back cap happened there.
Yeah, when everyone was knocked on their backs by that Earth Shatter coming up from Platypus. I mean, take a look at it. He just used it, and he's got another one almost at the ready. 78%. I mean, that's just one good Fire Strike onto about 3 members of Utah. He's already at 88 now.
Yeah, that was the Earth Shatter. He got the Nano Boost and hitting so many people. So much damage with that Nano Boost. Able to get a quick Earth Shatter refueled.
All right, so wiping around from that windmill is going to be Sly that actually gets a charge kill onto Soulman. It's answered right back though, but Snaps comes on in, cleaning up Platypus. Now he's trying to find more. Wonked is in his sights, will finally break LOS there. They're gonna force back Washington. 83% on the board, taking on up. It's coming down to the final team fight for Washington.
They do get a pick onto Flame Turtle though, looking to push in while it's 6v5. They really need this point right now. They don't want to be 0-2 right now.
Oh, Graviton only connects onto 1.
Ooh, Sly almost getting booped off there.
Oh no, oh no. Empire went down. And now, Washington just cleaning up. They don't have to commit any ultimates here. Platypus can hold on to that Earth Shatter, and they're going to be in great shape moving into the next fight. Shifu is getting closer and closer to that tactical visor. So, if Empire shows her face even just a second, watch for Shifu to immediately pop that that tactical visor.
Yeah, that kill on Empire was huge, because she was wanting that res coming in for that fight. 99% wanting to prolong as much as possible, hoping to turn the fight. Platypus a little overextended there, almost getting punished. Rocket Barrage trying to do something with it, maybe pull a little bit of damage, not gonna do too much with it.
Alright, but Empire has shown her face. She has to be careful. Like I said, Shifu's gonna go ahead and pop that tactical visor. He's trying to find the kills, but unfortunately, it's gonna be Flame Turtle that takes him out. And now everything going in favor of Utah. Here comes Wonked with that barrage, but it's into a Diva Defense Matrix. Nothing comes of it. It's only Soulman that's actually able to get the kill onto Snap. He's gonna try and keep this point alive, jumping on there. Another boop comes out. Soulman!
The Soulman booping off Meat Rocket. Lucio versus Lucio. Platypus is gonna catch up the nano boost to try to just knock everybody off. A fat shatter right into his shield, does nothing with it. Sly getting right into his face, saying, "Nope, you suck. Get out of my house." Nice dominance right there out of Utah. Can they hold on? Can they keep him off? Wiz Diablo's trying to stay that tanky tank, gonna get hooked and taken down. It's gonna be 1-1. Very nice. Utah really needed that right there.
I mean, the opportunity was there for Washington to actually win that. Remember, when you get an environmental kill, for the most part, you can't res it because you are off the map. 2 members fell into that hole there when Empire was looking for that resurrection, and unfortunately, fortunately, just because of some heroics on the side of Utah, they were able to win that team fight. But man, Soulman almost had like the clutchest play of the series.
All right, that's a really good point about Boops not being able to be rezzed. I mean, a Boop it's tilting. It's the Lucio support player got a kill. That's huge. It's such, if you can pull that off, it is how to carry as Lucio 101.
All right,
1-1.
now, yep, we are on to Ruins for our 3rd point here on Ilios. Shifu, though, take a look at that. We've got the Widowmaker coming out, and this is typically the map where we see it.
That's the great Widowmaker, playing the pillars. A great Widowmaker map, I should say, playing the pillars. A lot of damage. Look how spread this fight is out. I mean, Denial's on the point. He'll lock it. Ooh, gonna get pocketed by the Mercy, and no, not enough. I was gonna be really impressed if Empire was able to keep him alive.
Yeah, Shifu not landing the headshots, but landing the direct body shots. It's damage enough. Now Platypus has to be careful. There we go. That's the headshot I'm talking about. Taking out Flame Turtle. Now things spiraling out of control. Out of the hands of Utah here. There we go. Shifu with the 2nd kill. And now they're just playing Duck Hunt.
So what are they going to do? They have a Diva for Shifu. Bly is a nice counter to Shifu. Already has this point. That's really bad because that means, Shifu's nicely set up. Low ground, probably taking pot shots, gonna get up to high ground. This is gonna be interesting to see how they play this. Empire does have resurrection though. Probably just wants her team just to go on to the point and die, get a nice fat early res in the game.
Oh, nice boop coming out, but still Flame Turtle. Oh no, he had 2 great kills, but once again, like you had mentioned, no one's on him. Resurrection does come on out. Unfortunately though, they're not gonna be able to get that boop and that environmental kill. It wasn't an environmental kill. Shifu actually got the kill onto Flame Turtle as he was hovering over, so the body didn't actually fall there. But despite that res coming on in, Washington are able to fight on back, and now Shifu is going to be back on the field.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. That boop knocked one person off. Shifu was very quick to pick up 2 quick kills. Not sure if they're nasty headshots, just a body shot to finish him off. Regardless, that nice quick reflexes out of Shifu to pick up those 2 quick Widowmaker kills. So they're fighting right side again, looking for another boop. Oh, huge hook onto Empire, and she doesn't go down. Oh, but there she goes. Wonk is like, no, 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 no. I'm just gonna whole hog and kill you now. Flame Turtle halting right onto the Roadhog. Neither of these teams are playing this map very well. It's very spread out, almost quick play looking stuff.
Yeah, it's very difficult, especially when your attention's being drawn so like every which way, right? As Sly and Bly on the Diva and Winston's respectively, what do? Do you try to fight the meat of the composition, or do you go after Shifu? If you go after Shifu, your support and like the rest of your army is pretty vulnerable. And so
you at least gotta give her some pressure. Alright, overtime.
There we go. We do have Flame Turtle now is gonna be the answer for Shifu.
It looks like it is in favor of Utah. Are they going to be able to stop this 99% overtime? They are. Very nicely done. Wow, Lucio is so loud in my ear right there. Lucio's on fire apparently. I heard that. That was loud.
I'm on fire.
Right. Alright. No ultimates versus no ultimates. It looks like Platypus. Oh, Platypus and Wiz Diablo actually have their ultimates. Close enough. That's going to be enough CC to go in.
And that's a immense pickoff coming out from Shifu. Here comes the Graviton Surge. It's gonna actually commit onto about 2 members there, and that's both supports already on down. And just like that, Washington are gonna take the round.
Yeah, that was a beautiful Earth Shatter up the stairs into that Gravitron to secure that kill. I think Washington knew that they had the ultimate advantage there, and they just went in. And again, it's kind of walked on the point naturally. Gravitron and Earth Shatter versus nothing to counter it via ultis. Tough battle.
Ooh, now we are on match point. It's all led up to this. We've been here for about 3.5 hours now. It's coming down to this. We are back onto Lighthouse here, which I believe Utah were able to win out on.
Sorry, 1 second. Got a distraction here.
So, match point, University of Washington, 1 point away from moving on to the Tespa Training Grounds Arena next week.
Let's go.
Flame Turtle making a swap off. Take a look at that. He's going to be picking up the Zarya here.
Interesting. Triple tank with the Zarya. It's interesting to see what their team talk was for that pick. Wonk with a nice hook onto Denial. Ooh,
that's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. Ooh, and then Sly gets booped off. There we go. But still, the trades are coming on out.
That was nice. That's the best support. I've slept him, and now Lucio's gonna boop him. You're welcome.
Alley-oop. But the point was taken for Washington here, and now they're trying to fight it. Are Utah, but they're gonna be able to delay, especially with that boop kill coming out from Soulman that are on to Bly.
Soulman just stalling. Nice. Gonna get 16, 17%. Still some stall. Oh no, that's over. Alright, Roadhog's like, I don't want to die, I don't want to stagger. He's gonna escape? Oh, they're chasing him hard. Where'd he go? Diablo picking up some nice energy there.
Straggler kills at this point, because every single second counts. Meat Rocket, he's got the nano visor to work with, so if Sly gets any more aggressive there, they can just engage upon them with that speed boost, but instead they're doing this wraparound play coming out on the side of University of Washington. Are almost on the point. Hook comes up, but Snap is going to be the one that gets the kill, and now they're pushing forward with that sound barrier along with the tactical visor. But I think this works out in favor of University of Washington at this point, because that is 1, 2, 3 ultimates committed to try and shut down that push.
Yeah, that was a nice. They kind of baited that positioning round, got on there, also baited the ultimates. They're playing, you know, for being down right now, maybe I'm miscalculating, but they're playing very patient, it seems.
Right, but there's the Graviton Surge. It lands onto all the tanks. Sound Barrier keeping them alive for now, but as I say that, Sly gets that kill onto Wise Diablo. Now they're on the hunt for more. They're trying to chase, but great retreat coming out from them. They're not going to stagger too hard there.
Yeah, they're definitely showing a dominance here. They're coming out for a shot at this control point. All they have, well, no, they have 4 ultimates, so they definitely have the ultimate advantage here going in at Washington. So there was a Gravitron out.
It's on to 5 members with the Earthshatter being committed there. Now they're starting to clean it up. Now, but counter Earthshatter coming out from Sly. Is it going to be enough? Already 2-man advantage coming out from UW. Their whole hog even being committed by Wonk. Now they're on to the point. 92% on the board. They're just barely able to eke out this victory here, but this is where it gets difficult. They're already down 70%. They're only at 20. They need to win about 3 more team fights here to try and close out the series.
Yeah, and they also have to stop this Nano Visor that's going to be coming in out of Utah right here. That's going to be really difficult. Stop without an ultimate. Platypus is going to try to get another Fire Strike, hopefully connect with some people, get a nice Earth Shatter. Maybe predicting that Bly is coming in with this Visor. There, he has it. He has it. Platypus is looking for a nice fat shatter. He's gonna pick up the back line.
He gets it. It's on to both supports. Bly is down too. They're gonna go ahead and commit that nano boost onto it too, just for that secure. Now, 56% on the board for Washington.
Seeing the same thing here.
More good team fights.
It's kind of what we've seen on Hanamura was Bly just Bly and Meat Rocket holding on to that nano visor and.
It's a little ill-advised the way that they're actually approaching this. You have to remember that they do have that patio that they can approach from. They need to go for that high ground. And
Absolutely.
It looks like they're still not going to go ahead and do that. They're just going to go ahead and commit with that sound barrier. Here's the tactical visor coming out. Whole lot committed to that too. 2-3 kills already going out. Snaps with the triple. And they're going to be able to clean this out and finish it up and tie it up here on Ilios.
God. Best of 7, 2-2 on Ilios. We got a game. Oh my. Just absolutely great matchup right here. I'm just so glad this wasn't a 4-0 sweep. Wow.
Yeah. And it's come down to the wire. This is the final point on the final map to decide who'll be moving on to the Tespa Training Grounds Arena next week.
All right. Composition. Triple versus triple. So the Flame Turtles already worked.
It did in a sense. I think for the most part though, it was Washington with really weird positioning when they initially approached for the point. There was a point where Shifu was really cut off from the rest of the team when they made their first advance onto the point, and now we're seeing them just meet up. It's gonna be complete death ball style coming out from both ends. Reinhardt battles happening across the field. They're beating over at the statue. Hook does come out. Unfortunately, Snap does not connect with the Platypus though, with a great Fire Strike kill onto Bly.
Oh, and a nice speed boost into a nice boop. Well executed. That's going to be a pickup for Washington onto this point. Utah's going to want to back up here. No? No, Utah's showing face here, but they still have 2 people running back from spawn.
Yep, Sleep Drive comes on out, but Snap was able to get shielded up by Sly there. Zeus has to be careful. Zeus, you don't want to be within arm's length of Sly. Now Sly, even though he got that charge, was not able to commit that kill. Shifu will clean him up, and things starting to go in favor of Washington once again. Take a look at Wise Diablo. He's already at 80% towards his ultimate. He's going to have his Graviton very soon. Wonked with a great hook onto Empire, shuts her down.
So Utah's going to want to come in. They have... Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Bly really needs that visor before they can do something. Oh,
it's very difficult.
Washington is about to have all their ultimates.
Yeah,
look at those
exactly. There we go. Graviton Surge, Whole Hog, even the Earth Shatter. Now this is where like I'm thinking the discipline of Washington is just not as clean as it could be. Platypus definitely did not need to use that Earth Shatter there.
Absolutely, but they still have Zeus is coming up. They're gonna have Nano Visor and Sound Barrier. You know, 3 ultimates for a push. You know, just keep rotating 3 ultimates. You know, the Sound Barrier did go out. Shattered it. Just make sure nobody. I don't know. It's tough. But at least they won the fight. Ooh, nicely bonded.
Tactical Visor coming up from Bly. And Bly immediately takes out Zeus, so no Nano Visor on the end there. Sly even coming in with that great shatter, and they're starting to clean up here. At this point, they are just trying to milk this point for as much as they can. It's already at 88%. It's going to be 89, 90 before it gets flipped. And so this is just the power seat for University of Washington. They've got 2 ultimates to work with. It's the Nano Visor. As long as they find their opening, they win out this team fight, they can just send themselves into the arena next week.
All they have to do is press Q, these 2, and they're going into it right now. And here it goes.
Oh, Tactical Visor came out, but so did the Graviton Surge, and unfortunately Shifu is just shooting it right into Sly. As Empire was dropped really low, but she's able to make it over to the Mega Health Pack. Now it's going to be a 5v4 fight as Wise Diablo finds the kill onto Sly. Point's going to get flipped on over, but because it wasn't a decisive enough team fight, they have the opportunity to try and contest. It's going to be difficult though, especially if Gly goes down to that Fire Strike. Here's the grab, and that might be the coup de grace with the Earth Shatter coming out. University of Washington have done it. They'll be moving on next week to the Tespa Training Grounds Arena.
Wow, a good game to both of these. That was to go 2-2 on Ilios in a best of 7 that went 3-3. Very well played.
Very well played indeed. Things looked a little bit shaky in the beginning of the series, but man, it went the distance, went to the final point of the final map there. University of Washington really able to complete it out and just have the endurance basically at this point.
It's a lot of playing with only a 5-minute break after game 4, I think, game 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was right before Hanamura.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so there you have it, boys and girls. That's gonna be your winner this week of promotion tournaments here for Tespa Collegiate Series, University of Washington. But you can't understate the performance coming out from Crimson Gaming, though. They came out of the gates just swinging, and it was a real back and forth affair between these 2 teams. But yeah, once again, congratulations, Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing them.
I was your caster for the day, Jamerson. You guys might remember me from the fall season of Tespa Collegiate Series, but throughout this entire best of 7, I had with me Cody, KlutchDoc. Thank you so much for joining us this week, dude.
It was an honor. This was a lot of fun.
Especially if you have high octane gaming like displayed here.
Exactly. Yeah. So much going on. I want to rewatch the Hanamura.
Unfortunately, there is no more for us. Cody, where could our viewers at home find you across social media?
Twitter, KlutchDoc, also my Facebook or Instagram.
That's Clutch with the K, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
It is my edgy name, my edgy support name, where I'm an aggressive support. But yeah, KlutchDoc with a K. All
right, and you guys can find me YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, hell, even Instagram, even though I don't use Instagram. It's just at JetSetJamerson. Thank you all for having me. Tachyon for having me. I had a lot of fun doing more collegiate work. It's been a while. It's been about a month since the Tespa finals, so it's really great to get back into it. But that's it for the matches this week, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day.